So welcome back to day two of not day two but day three of the MSA Cup. It's Shanti speaking, and with me is my co-panelist Jasmine.
Hi.
Your team is banning.
So for those that hasn't been paying attention, we have had some games off stream, and it was Celestials running away against Conquerors and Novacore. So as you can see, we are in the first ban phase, and
Your
the first
team
ban
is
goes out to
banning.
Farimus
I think
from
To
that's a
live
good
is to
ban.
trick the
That's a very
Reaper.
decent ban coming in as
The
we see
fire
that
of battle
Your
never
team
Samus
is
has
banning.
been
extinguishes.
doing stuff in games.
Yeah, but I think the Marsha ban was more spot on. As you saw the previous match, that how Arya Stark popped off with the Marsha jungle, and it was just carnage all over. Between turtles, lords, and the turret steals,
I
it
might not
has
be a
been
lightning man, but I
chaos.
Your
do know my
team is picking.
traits.
I think that the side of Novacore has a bit of
True love
PTSD from
is
that.
like
Your
blood.
team is picking.
Oh,
And
a Camilla first
Natsu
pick.
is coming in with a normal Camilla pick. For those that don't know, she is number 2 in meta Gasco at the moment. And let's just see what Nova has.
I think did Conquerors miss a ban?
world than let the
They
world
did.
betray
Your
me.
team is picking.
And Jeff is one of the best Wises I've seen. I think he's number 2 on the server currently. And Loss is going for his comfort pick in Belleric as a roamer.
I can see a tanky side coming out from our blue team with Fredrin Jungle.
Light me up and watch
And
the
here comes the
world
See value
X-Bow,
in
burn.
me?
which is still
Your
meta
team
in a
You
is
should.
sense, because it does release that true damage in his ult.
Do you think we will have a Valentina pick because they did pick that against Celestials?
I don't know. I think Anima will jungle. He hasn't been playing a lot as of late because of work and stuff. But no, we are both
This
wrong.
fairy tale
He's going
ended
for
with a
the Vex
Your
poisoned
pick.
apple,
team is
and
banning.
my tale
I mean,
began.
that's a good pick though for a mage.
It's my
It
way
is
or the
Your
clears
highway.
waves
team is
very fast,
banning.
and that taunt of a
Chivalry is
first skill
dead,
is
and
Your
I will
team
very,
is
revive
very
it.
picking.
well, very hectic.
So they both decide to ban Marksman in the last pick.
I mean, I can see where X here comes in. CCARP doesn't really play Clint. I mean, doesn't really play anything else besides
First
Ixia
rule around
and
here,
Melissa. So
Your
break all
team
the
is
rules.
picking.
they play on that.
Sometimes wisdom works
Oh, a
better than
Harriet
brute
pick.
strength.
I think the carry pick is very, very good up against the tanky side, because X-Bow he
Gaze
can
the
both tank
stars and see
as
Your
well
what you
team
as
is
have.
Camilla
picking.
and Fredrin, because both of them are used as the tanks. But the surprise pick for me is the Dyra though.
Thyra
Also,
Jungle.
it's a good pick based on the fact that they're all tanky,
Tangy, yeah.
and he can basically one shot Harith
Oh,
and Louis.
Balmond. Could we get him back
My blood
Balmond?
boils until
I
the
mean,
day I
his ult
die.
and the retry would be hella good against Fredrin, unless Fredrin taunts him.
Okay, based on the draft, who do you think has more of an advantage?
I would say, uh, a bit biased, but Novacore, based on the taunts, they have Balearic and YZ and Vix.
Vexana, yeah.
But that's all from
So
our. So we'll be handing it over onto our casters.
All right, thank you guys. Very nice
Awesome.
work right there. We're gonna see. Yep, we got two teams finished off their draft right here. We're looking at some heavy team fight from both sides. Actually, you know, we've got the Camilla coming in with those sets with the blood curse. I think that's what it's called. And obviously the other side, we've got a lot of big team fight ultis on top of that as well with the Belleric and the Yuzhong. But today joining with me is Mr. Nightshade, I believe that's what I should call you here. How are you doing? What do you think about these teams?
Yeah, bro, I'm Nightshade. That's correct. Overall, I think, bro, this is a good setup on both sides of the. What's the team's name? Oh, bro, I just lost my words. But yeah, I think it's a good setup from both teams. They have plenty of CC, they have plenty of damage coming from both teams. So this should be an interesting game, bro.
Yeah, I think it will be very interesting indeed. Novacore, I think I prefer their team fighter just a little bit more. I feel like the X-Borg in the later stages of the game is going to be quite uncontested when it comes to being against these very tanky heroes, such as the Yuzhong, the Belleric, and the Balman. So I'm looking forward to that. But stepping back a little bit, if we're looking at the drafts just in the way they work, right? I feel like both teams, they really want to be going early. However, I feel like Novacore's draft, Conquerors draft just has a little bit more late game presence in my opinion.
Yeah, I think maybe the side of Nova has a good early as well.
Oh, in the top lane though. Oh, almost getting taken down by that black dragon form.
You don't want to go up against a Yuzhong, especially level 1 and level 2.
Okay, we're looking at the fight here. Bottom lane, looking at some just harassing action by both teams. 4 members of both teams in the bottom lane right now. They're just sort of finding each other's feet, you know, checking out what they can do and what they can't do. But yeah, I feel like nothing too hectic should happen so far.
With the Fred and the Louis in the early game, bro, it's just gonna be a bunch of recall from the opposing team, bro.
Yeah. I'm scared of this Louis, right? There's a reason this here is banned a lot, I think. It's just because it provides so much damage without that many items, as well as the fact, oh, we're gonna see the bottom lane though. We're gonna see the Zaman Force coming in from CC Op, getting a nice solo kill onto that carry. The turtle does go to the Bowman so far. Oh, there it is. That's gonna be the lethal counter dropping onto the floor, almost taking down Jan on top of that as well. So now it's gonna be Novacore taking a huge fight for themselves, taking the turtle and taking a kill. So I think they came out on top of that one.
They came out on top, although the economy still looks about the same. They have not really much of a gold lead, so they should still be going either way.
Yeah, true. That even after like getting a turtle and a kill, yeah, they're still about the gold is pretty much even completely on both sides here. So definitely gonna see that happen. Lost gonna taunt up Natsumi right there. Not gonna be able to do too much though. I feel like they have a lot of catch on the side of Novacore, but they don't have enough damage right now. You know, their damage coming in from their cores just comes online a little tiny bit later than usual.
This should be a good setup from the Roma. Camilla, if she can get a 5-man stunt and the backline just come in with the damage, I think they can come out on top on a team fight with the damage from Louis and the Fredrin with this ultimate.
Diversion. Not gonna do anything right there. Just not gonna decide to go through. I don't even see where the portal was headed. But we are gonna see there is Wrath the Dryad coming in and out. Purify comes out from CC Op though. He's gonna be able to use the Diamond Force. He's gonna be able to defend his life and the defending of the tower on top of that as well. I mean, he looks like he's done it, man. I mean, that's a 4-man rotation straight onto this Hyreth, and they didn't get anything done.
Yeah, he works out smiling, bro.
Yeah, he is. He's smiling. He's like, yeah, bring 4 people. You guys will need 5 to take me out. 4 people's not enough. Anyway, we are seeing the turtle spawning in the bottom lane right now. Both teams that should be heading towards that quite shortly, although Bauman maybe gonna look towards getting a red buff. I think that might not happen as Fredrin, Jan, gonna start taking down this turtle right now.
Yeah, I think the turtle is already taken.
Yeah. The Barman a bit too late to the party. We are going to see Lost. He's going to get gone on here with the Blood Curse. Is it going to be enough though? Zemen Force popped on the floor here. Natsumi, he's in a bit of danger. There comes the lethal counter, but it doesn't finish off the Harith. There we go. Exborg going to get a few kills, but it's also going to be Blaze doing the same thing. It's a 1-for-1 trade once again. And I feel like both teams, they just want to finish off either of the kills on the other side of the map. It's going to be Carry and the Lua Yi falling. So actually, it's an even trade so far. Barman, he just barely makes it out. But we're going to see the Black Dragon going to go onto this Exborg. He's still alive as well. Jan, he's trying to take him out as well. But Belleric, he's in position to maybe get something done as well. There it is. Lost will get the kill onto the Exborg. Oh, Fraser's Wrath.
Yuzhong just got the first item as well.
Oh yeah, that Yuzhong is definitely starting to hurt right now. But in the end, yeah, again, Novacore, they're getting things done, you know. They lose their bottom tower, unfortunately. But they win a team fight. But as you can see, the goal lead, it's still quite even.
Like I said earlier, bro, this game is pretty much evenly matched, even though the opposing teams, they might have a slight advantage, but they're taking the advantage. They can't really make do of it. Oh, this is nice team fight, bro.
Oh, but look at that damage coming in from the side of Conquerors there. They had the Blood Curse as well as the Zemen Force, excuse me, on the floor. They managed to win that team fight nice and clean. You could argue that, you know, the Conquerors, they're on the up foot right now. You know, they've got about almost 1,000 gold lead at this point, just from that one team fight. Oh, there it is. We're looking at the diversion coming in.
That's what I said, bro. With Camilla's ult and Louis spawning the damage and just spamming, you have to retreat, bro.
Well, we're gonna see. Oh, there it is. Black Dragon form coming on onto the Exborg. Oh, there it is. We're gonna see the last insanity though. It punishes this Balmond, and so he's not gonna be happy about taking that fight. As we're gonna see the turtle has spawned already. So Fredrin, he's just able to walk back and leisurely take that turtle without any threat of retributions or lethal counters.
Everybody's going to defend this tower. Don't want to lose their tower.
We're popping the Appraiser's Wrath just to finish the turtle. I guess Appraiser's Wrath, Fredrin's ulti, it has quite a short cooldown these days. I believe it has been buffed. You know, it's got quite a short cooldown, so you can just use it for whatever you need to. But yeah, I mean, I think if Balman does finish off that War Axe, which he has right now, so I feel like he's going to start doing some decent damage to this Fredrin. At the moment, he was like pretty untouchable, but with that extra 2 damage with each hit, it can maybe make a difference when it comes to getting some kills.
Yeah, but it's going to be dependent on his Roma just getting in front there so that he can get into the back line.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're all gonna see the initiation coming in onto the Exborg, catches him in the air. Here comes the Balman spinning away. Is it gonna be enough though? Has the leisure to pop the last insanity whenever. Oh, he misses out the petrify. So I think they won't be able to get the kill here. In fact, it's gonna be the Balman falling as well. But in the bottom lane, we're gonna see the Zemen Force. Harris trying to fight it down, but the speedy light wheels coming in from Blaze is more than enough to deal with him. Again, I think a decently even trade, but Conquerors do have the advantage in it.
I think Carry should go for the tower. Well, not anymore. Because the diversion can just pop up, you know, anytime.
Yeah, that is true. That's why Louis is such a strong hero, right? These diversion plays, you know, people have just gotten too good at them, right? So it's really hard to sort of know where your enemy is, if they can be anywhere at any given time. And I feel like that's the strong point about this hero at the moment.
To be honest, he's one of my top 3 banned heroes, bro.
That would make a lot of sense in this current meta. As you are going to see the Lord spawning out in about 10 seconds here. Balman spinning away, trying to get that level difference a little bit less because it's currently 2 level difference here. Make it 1 maybe after the blue buff. Okay. Even though he's a level behind, he still has a decent shot at stealing the Lord, right? With the retribution, just because of that lethal counter. It's such a strong tool for securing objectives.
But they have the Fredrin as well. Fredrin with his ultimate can also do the same thing basically.
True. It is quite close in terms of damage. Okay, here we go. We're going to see the diversion coming in, carrying a bit of danger. Has the energy eruption popped on it by the spreader, and the blood curse comes out. They're going to be able to take on the carry. But the Raptor Dryad does it not to 5 people, but it's not going to be enough. Double kill coming in from the Harris. Jeff also in a bit of danger. He hides the Black Dragon for pop, but he's not going to be able to survive any longer as all of Novacore fall except the Bowman. So this is going to be the easiest Lord I've ever seen.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, so I feel like Conquerors have definitely put their foot on the floor when it comes to this game now. They're going to start speeding up, getting their advantage ready here. They're going to start going in for towers at some point soon. We're going to see the diversion coming in. Bauman in a bit of danger here. He has to start running. I think he should be able to get out nice and fine. I think he popped the retribution to help secure his escape as well. But yeah, I mean, Nightshade, I have a question for you now. What do you think about the game so far? You think that Novacore are still in this? You think they're going to still put up a fight?
It's the first load, it's not the evolved load, so they can defend this fairly good. They have a bit of turrets that can help them. They just don't need to commit right now, you know, just defend for now. And they should be able to defend.
I agree. I think it's definitely defendable, especially with the likes of the Belleric, right? They have that Ratha Dryad to make sure that any tower attempts are not going to be easy because of that taunt effect. I mean, we're honestly on the top lane here. Black Dragonfall comes out, does knock up 2, but the bottom tower so far, the top tower here gets taken out as well as the Black Dragon. So now they don't have that for the high ground here. Lord has been swiftly dealt with though, thanks to the help of Carry and Lost. I mean, Blaze and Lost over there. They're going to be able to get the kill there.
I think they could have handled that better. Maybe they shouldn't have split up like that and waited for Lord maybe to come.
Yeah.
Because now they lost the top tower, they lost teammates, and now they're just losing the mid tower as well. So down to 3 inhibitors and 1 outer turret.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not easy at this point, right? Just as you said, you know, we're down to the shell of the base right now. The bot tower here should be about free. So yeah, once they get the Lord, it is going to be that enhanced Lord. So it will charge those towers. So, you know, Novacore, they need to try and win a fight before that next Lord, I feel like. Just to establish some ground.
Yeah. At this point, they shouldn't try any fights or anything like that. Just defend their inhibitors and then wait for the enemy to make some mistakes and then, you know, take advantage.
All right, that's a fair point as well. As you are looking at Zekborg a bit forward here, but he's fine, you know. He's got the immortality. He's got a few other items. Let's have a check here, right here. Yeah, he's got the War Axe and the Bloodless Axe finished, so he's just going to be sustaining through everything that Novacore throws at him. As we now look into about half a minute left on that Lord here. It's exactly as you said, right? Novacore, they're just going to be defending towers here. They want to try and take it slow, not give the enemy any more of advantage that they need.
Yeah, maybe they should let the minions come in and just freeze them a bit and then wait for that Lord to spawn. You see, if they're splitting up like this, it's not going to do them any good. They're going to be picked off one by one.
Okay, here it is. The Lord has spawned, but the team fight starts already here. Bauman gets taken out pretty much immediately as the fight begins here, so that's already not a good showing. But we are going to see the Lost Insanity coming out as well. And Liska does get a kill for himself, but it's not going to matter at the point. You know, we've got 4 people taken down on the side of Novacore right now. I feel like with this minion wave, they should be able to push the tower, maybe end the game at this point. It could be at that sort of situation right now.
They're going to end, bro.
I mean,
you see the damage from Frederick's Ultra just now.
Yeah, I mean, Vexana Savage, anyone?
Highly doubt it. That was the done game, bro.
Oh man, yeah, that is going to be the end of the game. That is going to be Conquerors conquering a competition here in this game here, earning them that 3 points going into the Group B. Yeah, I mean, both teams, they played quite well. Obviously, Conquerors coming out on top. I feel like this Fredrin was a very good pick. Balmond, you know, he used to be meta for like 2 weeks when they changed the second skill. But now, you know, I'm not too sure about this hero.
They had a good draft, bro. To be honest, they had a good draft, but the way they picked up the team fights, they didn't do well in it. They were mostly fighting 3 against 4 or 5, which led them to lose so much gold instead of just farming, waiting for a fight to come to them. and take advantage of that.
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the cast here. We are gonna move back to the panel as we look into the next game of tonight. So take it away, guys. Ante?
Oh, my guess was so wrong this evening. I was backing all the tones from Novacore, but Kamala and Louis carried that match so hard. We had, I don't know, Jazz. What do you think? What could Novacore have done better?
I mean, good game to both teams. I feel like Novacore just they weren't there during the team fights. Like they kept losing the team fights. Like maybe they could have done something better there. But yeah, the Harith pick was really good. I feel Harith Gold.
I think that if they played safe early game and not extending like they did, I feel they could have won it in the late game. But they were too far gone after. I mean, early game it was pretty much the same level until about minute 7, where that massive gameplay of Camilla and Louis came in, and they got the double kill, and it just snowballed from the 1K gold lead, and it just carried on. It's like Novacore was fighting against a brick wall, running uphill. It was wildly entertaining to watch.
I mean, they really made the game because like there was no comeback for Novacore. Like we saw that the Vixana was left, and then even she got taken out by the Xborg. So yeah, I think maybe the drafting was good, but maybe like the teamwork and how they go about. Because remember they had a Fredrin also, and the Fredrin was like just made the game with his tanky build.
I think it all boils down to the true damage that came through from the Fredrin and the Xborg as well. I think that they used the team play. The team play was so good from Conquerors. I think after the whole loss against Celestials, they kind of had a talk to each other while playing in Classic. So I think they picked themselves up really good.
But I mean, the Carmela and Lohi go so good together. Like Carmela stun her ult, Lohi teleporting for the kills. It just makes the game.
Let me just check. I know it was surprising to see, but I mean, yet again, they went for the meta picks, going on from the Harith to the Louis, the Camilla. We've seen Camilla jungle, and as we know, yesterday in the the ISF match, Namibia and South Africa, we saw Swag just going in with the Camilla jungle, and just carrying the match as well as the tanky Camilla, and so going as a initiator and as a good support and to just tank all that damage up, that was really good to see again.
I mean, like, GG to both teams. I didn't expect that. I won't lie. Like, they really turned the tables around. And I hope we can see this from them in the future.
Yeah. So our next match for the evening is Conquerors and
RRQ. Am I right?
RRQ and Zena Strikers is supposed to play now. RRQ and Zena Strikers. So as you know, RRQ, do you want to share a bit about them? Do you know the players and who to look out for from the A side?
Um, I mean, RQ itself, they just like such a strong team. They have like synergy between them. Um, I would look out for like their jungle. I feel the jungler, yeah. Um, assassin player plays Ling, plays Fanny, and then obviously we have Jay. He's a really good tank with his Franco main, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match.
Likewise, I mean, I haven't watched both of them play, but I remember RRQ was very very good squad last season, in the first season of MSA, and Zena Strikers is fairly new.
Well, I have not seen them play, but good luck to both teams. Like, I'm sure they're gonna show us something, and let's just see what they draft because the thing that I know about RRQ is that they always down to go 5-man in rank. And I'm sure like all these other big teams like Mavs, Equilibrium, they all verse them. So like they used to them in rank.
The Xena Strikers and RRQ match will only start at 9, since Elevated Cards and has forfeited the match against Novacore. Okay. So we will be reconvening at 9 p.m. since
Yeah.
Novacore, um yeah, they get the point, since Elevated Gods forfeited the match for 8:30. So back to you, Sip.
Okay, you heard it from Chante here, guys. We'll be back at 9 for the next match. Stream will stay on. I'll announce it when people are back and ready to play. So see you guys then.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to MSA Group B. We are going to be going into the draft here between Zena Strikers and RRQ, coming in 2 minutes early, at least this time. Once again, as per usual, I'm going to be joined by Jasmine and Shantae. Let's start us off with this Popol ban. What do you guys think about that thing?
See value in me?
I think it's good based on the fact that BOD and the pin on Pupo, and it's a flex pick since majority of the African meta has been using it in the jungle as well as in the marksman lane.
Yeah, so it is a bit of a flex pick, as Shantae described here. So then I guess I need to start talking to Jasmine here. Are you familiar with any of these team members playing in either RRQ or Zena Strikers? Because I'm not too sure about any of them really. I know a little bit about RRQ, but not too sure about Zena Strikers.
I'm fairly familiar with RRQ. Have been playing a lot with them, especially Faye and Jay. Yeah, they're really good. I know that Lei has retired from mid lane and has now gone to EXP. And I think Bay is taking over the mid lane and Jimmy Rome. Mohan is fairly a good 1-1. And of course, Faye in the jungle with his Fanny.
But yeah, that's okay. So we might be able to see some cool assassin picks coming out maybe this game. But we are going to start the draft off with this Xborg as well as the Hylos and Dyroth. It's a pretty solid start to both of the teams here. I think, especially in these matches, I feel like Xborg is such a priority pick. I feel like it just does well so well when it comes to the team fights and just how the hero scales. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna finish off the first phase of the draft here with that Veil Carmilla. Now, I'm quite keen to see some cool team fights happening between these two big ulties. But I mean, the bans, other than that, sort of makes sense, right? We got the Masher, we got the Martis, actually. Martis, you know, I feel like this here has sort of fallen out of favor just a little bit in terms of everyone's opinions here, especially within like MSA games and Conrica games. But, you know, maybe it's still strong in the minds of Zena Strikers here as they do finish off the draft here with that Vexana.
I feel like the Mortis pick, if you want a strong early game, then you pick him up. But he hasn't been a priority pick in rank as of late. Even when he's not being banned during the past few days. But what I have seen is like the Hylos pick a lot as of late. They like to use him as an engager, and as his ult actually gives you HP as you run away on his ramp.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's just like so strong, right? I remember when Hylos had you'd go in what's that spell called? Revitalize. You hit Revitalize as well as that Glorious Path. That's the name of the ulti, and you just become unkillable. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna pick up the Vengeance here. I feel like that's also a decent idea to go with, especially since there's quite a lot of, you know, it's like just solid damage coming in from RRQ's draft. Talking about their draft, we've got that Ling coming out now. I feel like this here has also been very strong recently. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I think he got a buff as the previous patch, or he's about to get a buff, and he's being revamped for the next patch.
Oh. All right. Well, Jasmine, Shantae, what do you guys think about this draft going forward between both the teams?
Well, I think that RQ just has synergy between them, so I'm sure we can see a lot of good things, but I'm expecting a lot from both squads.
At the moment, I actually wanna bet on the bottom tier, the underdogs. So I'm going with Zena Strikers for this match.
All right, well, you heard it here from us, guys. I think I might agree with Shantae as well. I actually really like the Zena Strikers lineup quite a lot as well. I feel like they have a lot of things going, you know. They have a solid EXP lane. They've got a solid gold lane to do stuff with, so I'm very keen to see what they do. Anyway, that's going to be it from the panel, guys. We're going to pass it over to Aerie and Nightshade for the cast.
Thank you for that, Stippy. Thank you for that. And welcome, everybody. I know oh my days, it seems as though there's a bit of early game aggression from both these teams. Zenith and Carnage have laid very, very low. But as I was saying, welcome everybody to what seems like it's going to be an interesting game. I am with my co-caster today, Nightshade. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. This interesting start to this match down bottom lane in the XP lane. I think this is
Very
gonna be a
interesting
tough
start.
match. Gonna be a tough match. Little invading happening. It's gonna
Yeah,
be.
little invade happening Cure bar really, really low, and he does get the first kill, but also Faye coming in with the Tempest of Blades. He did secure the
Red
orange
buff.
buff, I think, in that team fight. So I think the
Yeah.
advantage is towards RRQ at the moment. But a lot of early game aggression from both teams. I was about to ask you before we saw that wonderful play from those teams, but who do you have your money on in terms of draft? Who do you prefer?
I would go with RRQ. They are like the panelist said. They have the better synergy. They are very good in team fights. So I think I'm going with them on this match.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Eclipse forced to use that flicker way too early before the turtle dance even commences. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out if it takes any effect. Lay onto the back line of the team, and the red tree was a 50-50, but Faye managed to get it. But in the meantime, Jay does manage to get a kill onto Eclipse. Clean takes that back by taking down Jay. Now we're seeing a Tempest of Blades by Faye or getting a few members low, but unfortunately he does not have the damage right now to kill them. But Kuro, he might want to focus on 2J, and he does. That is a 2-for-1 trade towards the side of, oh my days,
What a
the
nice
snipe.
shot, Cameron.
Oh
That
my
was
days, the
great.
snipe on top by
I
Sir
think he was
Man.
like in from the start of the match, bro. He had it in his back pocket, just waiting to use it, and he did, bro.
Yeah, he did. But now Faye taken down for way too much aggression. I think I think they've had enough. They're like, no, we've seen what you can do. Now it's time for us to pay it back. A lot of skirmishes going both ways, so there's not really a team that is taking the advantage so far. However, we have seen enough plays for us to know how this game might turn out, man. So who do you think is dominating right now in the early game?
I'd say RRQ at the moment they are having the gold lead, and they are taking some, going for some objectives and doing some ganking. As you see at the bottom lane now,
But
yeah,
Faye
direct.
onto Clean, and he does get the kill. A lot of the work was done by Lay in that team, or rather in that skirmish. But now we're seeing in the top lanes Carnage, if I'm not mistaken, engaging onto Jay. But we are seeing that cursed blood onto a few members. So Maman trying to clean up, does get the double kill, and he's looking likely that he's going to get the triple kill, maybe another snipe. But this time he does miss. In that during that, Kuro was looking for a few members in the back line, but I don't think he managed to get anyone. That is advantage towards RRQ, and they pile on that advantage as Lay takes down Clean, man.
And everything what I was talking about, how they just compose themselves in team fights. They know exactly when the enemy used most of their spells and the passives and things, and they would just dominate after that for the next couple of seconds. At least getting
Yeah,
a double kill.
information. Yeah, man, information speaks for a lot, and it is working out for the side of RRQ. They know when to engage, they know when not to engage. But right now, we're seeing a bit of a turtle. I like to call this the turtle dance, as both teams are setting themselves up for it. But now, Lay in the bot lane, taking down Fleam, and he didn't even need Faye to interject. But Brian is way too low at the moment, and that snipe looks likely, but so Moman does miss. Now we're seeing Carnage and a few members engage onto Jay as he's trying to give the rest of his teammates vision on this turtle. Right now, it's a lot of back and forth, but it seems as though this total is going to be free. Unfortunate for RQ as that, oh, okay, the total didn't reset. But now we're seeing a bit of a skirmish in the bot lane as Cure is taken down. Killing spree for Lei as he's dominating right now. But Kleem does get the shutdown to shut him down at the moment to say, no, you've done a lot of damage and it's time for us to pay it back. But we're seeing another engage in the middle lane as so Momon engage onto Carnage. A few decent ults are used, but Bay is the one that gets the kill onto Eclipse. That is a very congested team fight right there, man. What are your thoughts in that?
Bro, as you can see, they are just forced to use all of the spells and the ults continuously, bro. Look at the Halos just had to use the glory power to barely escape, bro. So I think RQ is completely dominating this game. It's been like six, almost going for 7 minutes. And looking at things now, the gold lead is speaking for itself. It's a 5k gold lead, almost 6k. It's just too much at the moment, bro.
Yeah, it's a bit too much, but Jay is taken really, really low. However, it is RRQ that does manage to get the kill near the blue buff as Jay does take down Eclipse. But right now, Kira does use that shadow or that Hayabusa ult, if I'm not mistaken. But now we are seeing Carnage engage onto Moman, trying to take him down. But oh man, with a bit of an outplay. A few trades were taken in that Curie does go down as well as Clean, and the advantage is towards RRQ. But now we're seeing the Tempest of Blades by Faye and a killing spree as he gets the kill onto Brian. Brian is not necessarily having the greatest of games right now. But what do you think about Zenith? If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of the team. What do you think about their chances for a comeback?
They have the Claude for the late game. He's good at clearing lanes. So if they can hold out to the late game, maybe they would have a slight chance if they played well. They do a good setup from the tank and a nice little team fight. If they can kill at least 3 members, they might come, with a late comeback.
Yeah, they might mount a late comeback, but we are seeing RRQ with the last total of the game in preparation for this load. But we are seeing Jay, or rather Faye, if I'm not mistaken. These names do get confusing. He did use the Tempest of Blades and managed to get a kill onto Brian, but a monster kill for Mon as he also gets Cure in that team fight. As RQ continuously mount the pressure, but now Zenith, or rather Keem, going back in, hoping to catch a few members. He did manage to take Bay really, really low, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get the kill. But still on the top lane, we are seeing Eclipse trying in a very bad position, a snipe that fortunately for him did not connect. Right now, RRQ are mounting pressure and they're mounting it really, really well. But yeah, man, this game
Yeah,
is starting to look.
looking at the itemization, Zenith just barely got to a second item, whereas what's his name? Bay. So already on his third item and the gold lead speaks for itself, bro. I think at this moment there is no chance for a comeback. It's just
Oh,
a
Eclipse
slaughterhouse.
in the
It's a
middle lane,
slaughterhouse.
man. Eclipse in the middle lane, taken down. This is not really looking good for him at the moment.
It's a slaughterhouse at the moment, bro. Look at the
We are seeing
damage.
a blazing duet by Brian onto a very, very unfortunate circumstance as he is taken down. Also, Cure is taken down in that. The Hayabusa into this link pick. It was looking good at the beginning, but RRQ are making everybody know that against us, you're going to have to do better than that. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get your thoughts on some of these picks. We know that Zenith have the late game, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this Hayabusa pick. What did you think about it? What did you think about this pick initially when you saw it?
I didn't think it was a good pick at the time, bro. And I saw the Hayabusa pick against the Ling, whose ultimate can basically just uh reset Hayabusa's ultimate, not reset but end it. It wouldn't be a good pick. Maybe you should have gone for a tanky jungler, or maybe at least someone to jungle with like. But okay, they already picked export. So I don't think there's nothing they can do at the moment, bro. They just need to now defend for their lives. It's a slaughterhouse happening here. You can see it live. Everyone can see it that's watching. And they just need to go back to the dressing room and have a chat with themselves, bro. Really.
Yeah, back to the dressing room, but Jay imploding onto Eclipse at the moment, unstoppable as he does get the kill, but it does look like it's going to be a shutdown. Brian does get the kill, but we are still seeing a bit of a skirmish as the top lane is taken. The last insanity is used onto Brian, and Lei is looking for that kill, a killing spree for him as he does get the kill. However, that did give Kuro and Clean, if I'm not mistaken, or no, it wasn't Clean, it was Carnage, enough time to focus on that
Yeah, yeah.
Lord. But man, with that snipe, that ultimate snipe taking down Clean in the top lane. Really wonderful use of this Beatrix, man.
That's a
I really
sweet.
like how he's using.
I haven't seen him use too much different guns. He's mostly using the sniper and the machine gun. But the machine gun is doing so much damage at the moment, bruh. It's just melting carnage in seconds,
Yeah,
split
man. If
second.
the plan is working, why need to change it? But yeah, we are seeing RQ mount a big pressure at the moment. It seems as though they're trying to force. Oh no, they're not even trying to force anything. They're just freezing the lanes at the moment. Okay, so they are freezing the
What do
lanes
you
just
think
to get a bit of
of
advantage.
Eclipse, bro? Eclipse 06 at the moment. And
Yeah,
looking at Bay, the mage gap is quite huge, bro.
yeah, it is quite huge. But Hayabusa did use his ult into that. We are seeing a guard, an eternal guard, but Faye is looking for Eclipse. Didn't manage to get the kill. However, he is taking it down as I think those
Taken
torrent
down.
damage was enough for him. But in the meantime, we did see the cursed blood, even though it was fragments of it. We saw the cursed blood into a few members that did allow RRQ to come back with the trade. An eternal guard as well has been placed down by Eclipse. It's not the full moon yet, so it's not really as effective as he would hope for it
Eclipse
to
is
be.
spanning the Eternal God now. She does have the cooldown for it, and Hayabusa is having a hard time. Can't really get any buffs. If you look at the level difference, Faze is completely dominating the jungle. He's been pushing constantly, as the Lings always do, and he's on point with his rotation. So I think at this time, Kuro should be thinking to himself, bro, I need to go revise some jungling tactics. Because right now,
Yeah, he needs to revise on his jungling tactics. However, in that play, he did manage to get the mage, and that will relieve some of the pressure for RRQ. But now we are seeing, or rather, we are okay. I thought maybe, I thought this was the perfect time for Zenith to actually engage again, but it seems as though they played a bit safe. But Kiro is locking onto Lei, trying to get him low, or rather get the kill, and that will be helpful. But that does
I
not
think
look
maybe if they
likely.
played a bit more to the XP lane in the early game, as they saw the Clean was being dominated the whole of the early game, maybe they needed to help him a bit, he barely had some help. And a lot of players forget to always help the XP laner, they always think, hey, XP laner should be able to hold his own, but there's things like ganking and things like that. Right now, he's suffering because of it. He could have been a good late gamer for them.
Oh, Clean being taken down, but Faye looking for Brian at the moment. He does get the kill, and he also turns back to get the double kill onto Kuro. Right now, only two members to the side of Zenith are up to defend this Lord. However, Silmomon is looking and targeting that base. This does look like it's about to be over as RRQ clinch the win against Zenith Strikers. That was a clutch
Yay!
game from both these
I
teams, but
expected a bit more from
specifically,
that team. I expected a bit more, but at the end of the day, RRQ was just better in all of the things they did, bro. What needed to be done was done by RRQ. Good game to the
yeah,
opposing team.
good game. Good game. Good game indeed. But before we hand it back to the casters, what do you think that Zenith could have done in that game to turn it around? Or Was their
Yep.
fate sealed after the draft, or is there something they could have done in game to turn that game around?
Definitely, they could have done a bit slightly better draft. Maybe instead of picking up the Tyrant so early, where it could be counted, they could have just let maybe the Mage and the Jungler go first because they did pick up a Ling, early. So maybe things could have been different in the draft. And overall, throughout the game, they had to do some better decisions when it came to team fight, to turtle dances, and they barely had a chance to go for load. Um, they could have done a lot of better things in the game, bro. But yeah, at the end of the day, ROQ took the cake, and I'm hoping to see some more of these teams in the future, bro.
Yes, man, ROQ clinched that game. It's surprising to see that Faye is the only one from ROQ with a silver plat to his name. However, he does have the victory. But to give my 2 cents before I hand it over to Sippy and the rest of the panelists, yeah, you're right, man. The drought phase, I think, is where they messed it up a bit. But when you consider both these drafts individually, I do think they could have played it out a lot better than they did, especially with the clips. He was being focused, and how aggressive he was kind of allowed for Faye and Bay to just feed off of him, and I think that kind of carried the snowball. Also, Lei was winning those 1v1s, man. It wasn't necessarily those ganks, but the
Yeah.
1v1s from Lei and Clean, Lei was just dominating in the early game, and that allowed for the advantage. However, there were certain times when the Eternal Guard was dropped in, as well as the Glorious Pathway. They could have come up with something, man. I feel as though their draft could have, tilted them towards something, but it's unfortunate for them. They're still part of the group. I'm so used to the knockout stages, but it's only the group stages. They still have a chance to make it into phase two. But those are my 2 cents. And is there anything you want to add before I give it back to Seppi?
Yeah, just say good game to everyone who's watching. Go out and practice. Tournament is live. Let's have a good time.
Tournament is live, and that is it from your casters. My name is Awi, and his is Nightshade, and this is us signing out until the next game. Seppi and the crew, take it out.
Okay, so next up we have RRQ versus Nameless Kings. And after that we'll have Zena Strikers again, Nameless against Nameless Kings. And our final match of the evening will be Novacore at 10:30 versus Nameless Kings.
Okay.
Ah,
Anyway, let's take it back then. Thank you, Shante. Yeah, I mean, I want to point something out, dude. What was his name? King Mohan or something? What was it?
yes.
Sir Mohan, dude. Those Beatrix snipes were pretty insane. I was really impressed by that. It was working very well with the Veil, I feel like. Veil, if he doesn't get the kill with those Windstorm nukes, then, Beatrix is there to snipe the kill up. So I was very impressed. But yeah, also, I feel like both of the teams, I really liked Zena Strikers draft. I feel like it made a lot of sense. It's just, yeah, it fell victim definitely to that Ling power spike and that sort of stage. The Claude obviously is a very strong hero, but it struggled a bit too much against that Beatrix. That pressure that it gave was a bit too much. It is able to nuke down that hero before he can get like a lot done with that blazing duet, etc. As well, the Xborg it's always a good pick. It wins. It doesn't always win its lane, but even if it doesn't win its lane, it comes back. It has that survivability. It's a front line for your team. It's a lot of damage. So I was really impressed by the performance coming in from Lei.
Like I said, they have synergy. I'm not trying to be biased, but like, come on, it's RRQ. They have the synergy. Jay is just an annoying tank, man. Like, anywhere that you go, he's always there trying to like poke you or do something. And yeah, Mohan really played a good game. The Beatrix was amazing. I did expect maybe a 1-1, but his Beatrix pick was amazing.
All right. Yeah, as well, the Hayabusa, I feel like Kuro definitely had a decent performance on this hero. Although Hayabusa not traditionally a hero that can, if you're playing from behind, it starts getting really rough at that point. Hayabusa can't really win a team fight for you. It's more about split pushing and getting those solo kills. So that was definitely a victim to that. And obviously, we had that Claude struggling quite a damn bit against the pressure that RRQ exerted in that game. Shantae, what are your thoughts about finally any last words for Zena Strikers before they move on to their next games?
I honestly think that Zena Strikers, their rotation to gold lane needs to be a bit more cleaner. They were focusing on ganking XP since XP wasn't doing well as well, and it was close to Turtle, but the gold laner was constantly being ganked by the Camilla, and the Camilla and Veil combo into the Colloid. He could literally do nothing, and Beatrix always had backed it up with the sniper ult, and it utterly obliterated any chance Brian had of getting gold in that lane. So I think they should go back to the drawing board and just work on their rotations.
All right. Yeah, I definitely work on those rotations is also what I was thinking as well. But yeah, that's going to be that game for you guys right there. As we're moving on to the next one, Shantae, what can you tell us about our next opponents? It is going to be RRQ again, but who are they versus?
It's RRQ versus the Nameless King. So Nameless Kings, they were initially part of the Yen squad. I know a majority of them that was there, like Wolby and this Poker Yo guy. They have been in Yen. I think it was Yen 2 when they had 2 squads before you could like expand the squads. So they are decent players. I remember we played against them last year in the MSA Cup. And it was a tough matchup wise. So you should be looking out for Wolby. Is a pretty good roamer.
All right.
So I think the rotation will be a bit better than what we've seen from Zena Strikers.
But yeah, that'll be that's gonna be that first game. Just as you said, we are gonna be seeing that game is gonna start like right now. So stay tuned for that. Probably not much of a delay. We're just finding out whether they need the first pick or the second pick coming in from the Nameless Kings. We'll be in that first game. Okay, Jasmine, anything you'd like to say? Any motivational words you'd like to say to your team RRQ before we move into this next game?
Like, I feel like both teams have potential. So, like, just do your best and may the best man win.
All right. That's true. All right. Well, I think we can move into the draft in a second. Yep, looks like we're ready to go. It's gonna be Nameless Kings taking the second pick. They won the coin toss. They decided to go second pick here, so they will be on the right side. Anyway, let's get straight into it. We are gonna have an interesting band starting off. We're gonna have that Matilda actually being taken out. Now I feel like maybe RRQ, they did a little bit of research because we haven't seen that band coming out just yet. But also on the side of Nameless Kings, they take out the chip. Now I want to hear from you guys. What is this chip hero? It's still quite new. Everyone sort of knows what it does, but tell me specifically, what does this hero do?
He has like endless stuns on each of his skills, and his ult literally teleports everyone to a team fight. It's like the better version, in my opinion, of Louis.
Right.
Because you can actually go back to your lane
Yeah,
after
you can join the team fight and then go back and.
Okay. It looks like we're batting a lot of global presence coming in from Nameless Kings here. We're going to take out the Angela as well, which is also that hero that, you know, can go anywhere in a matter of, actually, in not even a matter of time, can go there instantly to help a teammate. As well as batting out the Roger coming in from RRQ here. I feel like this hero has also been really strong recently. The Roger, I think the reason he became meta as well is just because when he gets a kill, he resets his first skill in the Lycan form. And that's just been so strong. As a marksman or as a jungler, it really does everything. So it makes sense that he's banning that out. But anyway, looks good. Lei, he's gonna go on for that X-Borg once again, going with what he knows works. And as well from Nameless Kings, we're gonna have the Carmilla and the Fredrin. I mean, we're seeing this Carmilla a lot recently. I feel like this hero is definitely finding itself at least in the South African meta when it comes to these games. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
It's time to go to the R&D show for some
I do not like the Camilla pick in general, but it seems to be working for majority of the teams that we've watched. So we'll see how it does on this side of Nameless Kings, because we've seen Jay on the Camilla the previous match.
Oh, true. As we finish off now with the first phase of the draft with that Harith, probably going to be that gold lane coming in from Nameless Kings right here. Gonna pick up that Purify, especially against that Tigreal. Now Tigreal, the Diggy is open, but I feel like, yeah, they probably can't pick it just because they have already picked that Carmilla. So yeah, they're not really scared about that coming out. As well as that Lilia pick, which I feel like works really well with that Tigreal implosion into those explosions of those balls. Oh, it's just such a deadly combo. So we're looking at RRQ having a pretty great team fight lineup so far. So yeah, I mean, Nameless Kings, they need to watch out for that.
I mean, Carmilla can actually go XP as well, if you think about.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be right.
I do what I want.
But we will take out the Ling, actually, coming in from Nameless Kings here. They saw that. I guess they were watching that last game, and they did not want to be a part of that. As well as RQ banning out the Dyroth here. I think they've definitely. So if they ban out the Dyroth, you know, they're probably looking for a tanky jungle. If that's what I would guess coming out. Oh, we're gonna see it's a Rizzler as well.
I feel like we're gonna pick a Fanny.
Oh, Ismay would have been such a good jungle pick.
I mean, that's so Mahan on Esme. Okay, he's going to be jungling, I think. That's an interesting situation here coming in from RRQ. Maybe they might be switching up roles a bit. Or maybe we're going to see the Esme gold lane. That could be a thing as well. Oh, there it is. It is going to be the Esmeralda gold lane. And finishing it off, we have Faye on the Fanny. So we've already got a quite exciting game on our hands. Now, I'm no Fanny expert. I don't know if you guys are, but tell me about this Fanny game. Is this worth picking up Fanny into this matchup?
Jazz?
I mean, it depends on who plays it, and like Faye's a really good Fanny man. Like with his blue buff, and then obviously his team, you have Jay with him, and I feel like maybe the Fanny would work here, but we have Esme gold, so I'm not really sure about that.
I actually don't think that Fanny would be a good pick, since majority of the picks on Nameless is tanky, so you only have Harith that you can go into, and Feramus has his ult that basically gives him an extra life bar, so I'm not liking this Fanny pick.
All right, that's a strong take right there, but it is Faye. I feel like there's not the biggest amount of lockdown coming in from Nameless Kings. Sure, there's definitely some decent lockdown, but not the classic like Kufra sort of Fanny matchup. So it is all about how Faye sort of approaches it, I feel like. But yeah, we're also gonna finish this draft off with the Faramis, and I really like this pick. It sort of acts as its own kind of Diggy, right, against the Tigreal, because the Tigreal ult gets a 5-man ult, sure, but you pop that Purify on the Faramis, you pop that Nether Realm, and all of a sudden your team's not dead. So I'm really liking this last pick coming in from Nameless Kings as we now looking into the final bits of the draft here. I must say, both teams have a very good draft. RRQ, bit iffy with the Esmeralda, but I think it can work, especially against the Harith, right? With all those shields, he can cut through them quite easily. Anything else you'd like to say, guys, before we pass it back to the casters?
I'm going with the underdogs again. We've seen what RQ could do, but I have faith in Nameless. So I'll be sticking and I'll be backing them for this match.
All right, well that will be it. I think we'll have it back to Nigel and Nightshade here. So good luck to both of the team.
Yes, it seems as though Nigel will be casting. I
I
wonder
mean
from where.
Nigel. I mean Avery.
But
Sorry. Yeah.
no, that's fine, man. But welcome back, everybody. My name is Ari. Do not confuse it for the other guy. But I am with my co-caster, Nightshade. Nightshade, how are you feeling about this game?
A lot of strong feelings coming in here from both sides, bro. I'm actually not picking a side in this match, but looking at the terms of draft, I'm saying RRQ have a good draft, but the better drafts come from the opposing team, bro.
Yeah, it comes from the opposing team, but remember there's a difference in utilization and execution, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Draft-wise, yeah, I do kind of echo your sentiments. Nameless, I think they're called. I do kind of prefer their drafts, but if it was me, I would have switched the Terizla and the Herith. I would have switched them around because Herith does really well up against like an X-Borg in the early game, and the Terizla versus Esme is a very classical combination. But we are seeing Faye caught in a very bad position at the moment that Appraiser's Wrath comes barreling down, and that is first blood for Nameless.
Oh,
I may struggle with some of these names. So how do you pronounce this jungler's name?
which one?
The Fred. The Fred.
Oh, hilarious.
Delirious. Okay, I thought there was an R somewhere in there, but Jay being engaged on, he is taken rather low, so he won't be effective in that team fight. However, we are seeing the rest of our RQ come back as the brigade comes back. But oh, Demon Slayer forced to use the flicker as well as his ultimate to survive phase engagement into that. But I'm kind of surprised. Oh, okay, they did a variation. What do you think about putting the Herith in the mid?
It would be a better choice as Esmeralda can easily kill Aerith. So I think Ferrum going top was a good switch, bro.
Yeah, it was a really good switch, really good thinking, and situational awareness from them. But yeah, man, what do you think about the Fanny? I know the casters weren't necessarily a big fan of the Fanny, but maybe you have a different sentiment towards it.
It's fine, bro. It's fine. This guy can play Fanny. He's got the skill. He's got the skill, bro. He's got the brains to use it. So I'm hoping to see some good skills and kills from Fanny.
Yeah, hopefully. But now we are seeing both these teams play a bit more passive, stark contrast to what we saw in the last game. But all their rotation seems to be around mid. What do you think about these rotations?
For them, the rotation is going to play a vital role in this game because with Frieden and they need
Oh,
that.
Jay caught in a very bad position. He does use that implosion, catches up to no one, but that cursed blood does come out as well as the falling star moon from Esme. He is caught in a very bad position at the moment as Esme is taken down. Faye does get the trade, however, he is also taken down. This does give Nameless the opportunity or the chance to take this Lord for free. What do you think about that engage, man? Would you have done the same if you were in RQ's position?
Like I said, Nameless, they do have the better draft, bro. They have Fred up front and as a damage dealer. They have the Camilla, they can do a 5-man stand. Ferrimus just to give an extra life. And then Harriet can come up with it cleaning, bro. It's just a good draft. And Fanny is not going to do so much against the Fred.
Oh,
Because
Nazi at the top. I think he's about to die. Luckily he survives. But yeah, man. What you say, I echo your sentiments completely. I'm sorry to cut you off there. I thought we were privy to a bit of a gameplay. But it seems as though me and the rest of the viewers are disappointed in that. But I like to also take notice of how passive they're playing right now. You know, it's not the four-man aggressive types of ganks we saw in the last game. Both these teams are putting a bit of respect to each other. But oh, Faye engaging onto Faramis. I think Faramis used his ult, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. He did use his
top
ultimate. Sorry, go on. No, it's okay. Seems as though that is what happened there, but Sir Man uses that falling star moon, doesn't get anybody, but oh, Demon Slayer caught in a very bad position. Lei does use that, his ultimate, does use his ultimate, the last insanity, and does get the kill onto Demon Slayer. It seems as though Faye oh sorry, Lei as he's carrying his team at the moment. But oh, in the top lane, Head does manage to get the kill, and Faye's looking for a trade, but he doesn't have that blue buff, so he will disengage. But you know, Nightshade now, looking how this is playing, looking at how this is playing out at the moment, what do you think about how Nameless are approaching this game?
they are doing very good with constant in team fights, and they know they have the upper hand. They are leading at the moment. They have
Oh,
1k
but we're
gold.
seeing a big explosion as well as the Netherrealm for Nameless to help them out there. I think they were going for an invade, but they are really really low right now, so they will
Probably have
disengage into that. And I think the turtle as well was taken, but now Lei caught in a very bad position as Delirious and Demon Slayer engaging onto him, forced to use that last insanity as a disengage tool. But I think Delirious still has that Appraiser's Wrath in his pocket, so he may be looking to dish out a bit of damage. But okay, this game is very back and forth, man. I know they're playing passive, but everybody's showing that no, you know what, we have our big boy pants and we can play with. But what do you think about the aggression from both these teams?
there's not really much aggression coming from the blue team, bro. President is just too much. They don't really
Oh,
have that
there right
power.
now, but in a very bad position, but Lei does manage to get the kill. In the meantime, also getting immortality. So survivability in all counts, but now it's Nazi being engaged on. And it seems as though Sir and
Some
Jay will not.
They are losing little fights, bro. Just because they have broken formation, they're not doing that four-man rotations anymore, and it seems to be a problem for them now. Look at Esmeralda and taking out the top
Oh,
lane
but
there.
Nazi caught in a very bad position, is taken down, but the Zaman force is put down by Will B. They're engaging onto Jay. They do take him down. I'm kind of surprised that they're not focusing this mid lane. A bit of a wasted opportunity from them. Sorry, a bit of a wasted opportunity from them. But Faye is engaging onto them, man. She's making sure that yo, I still have the damage and I can still do a lot thereof. But right now it's a one torrent for a torrent. What do you think about these trapper trades that they're going for, especially RRQ, the way they're playing it at the moment? They were lacking in the early game, but they're kind of making it up for it now.
Making it up for it now. As I said earlier on, it's Nameless, they're breaking formation badly, and Pyramus is caught alone on top again and just died for doing that. And he's about to possibly die again for doing that. That's why I'm
Yeah,
saying
he
they're
does
breaking
use his
formation.
ultimate for survivability. Oh, and he does survive. A bit of an outplay from him, man. I'm kind of surprised that he actually did survive, but oh, Delirious uses that Appraiser's Wrath, but the face says no, nobody home, as it doesn't hit anyone. That does kind of give the advantage towards RQ at the moment, but we are seeing Faye engaging onto the back line, or rather the front line of Nameless, getting them extremely low. But oh, Faye caught in a very bad position, is taken down, but also Felix as well is taken down. A bit of a skirmish here, but the implosion is used as well. Jay caught in a very bad position, but that lethal ignition from him takes him down. But oh, Lei comes back with the last insanity, does manage to get the kill, but he has that immortality for survivability, and he will get out. It was looking like it's favor towards Nameless, but now but came back and made it a 3-for-3. What do you think about that trade that just happened there in the mid lane?
It's at this time, bro. Looking at the trades happening now, it's not really much big of a trade. They are equal in gold. They are equal in kills, not equally, but they're not far behind. So this moment, they can all just maybe have a good fight. I want to see some action. There's not been so much action through this game, so tell these people to fight, man.
Tell them to fight. It seems as though Nightshade is becoming a bit impatient. But don't
What?
worry, don't worry, we are seeing a bit of a fight here near the Lord as Felix and Demon Slayer engage onto Faye, trying to get him low, forcing him to use that last insanity. But Demon does pop out the flicker as well. But he is low, does use that Tyrant's Rage, but caught in a very bad position as a mega kill for Lei takes the advantage for our RQ. But now Salman caught in a very bad position, but the amount of shielding that he gets unfortunately cannot keep him alive as it is an EXP for oh no, it's a gold lane. uh,
No,
Forgive me, it's a gold lane trade.
Ooh.
Okay, now we're seeing the Zaman Force being used by Will Be, not Will I Am, sorry, but Jay does use that implosion onto Will Be.
To just say,
Oh, it seems as
hey,
though he did get the
I
kill.
am.
Yeah, that name is confusing me at the moment. But Lei comes back in the background, does manage to get the kill by using that last insanity. His Xbox is really impressive, man. What do you think about his playing style, or rather, his performance so far?
He's been doing good for this past few days of this tournament. Every pick he's been a good pick. So if I was playing, I would definitely ban the Xbox against RRQ especially.
Yeah, man, that's one for the notebooks. Any team that goes up against RRQ, make sure you ban this Xborg because Faye is really dangerous on it. But right now, we are seeing a bit of a bit of a semi skirmish, as some people would like to call it here in the bush next to the Lord. But oh, Big taken really, really low. He does have those black shoes to disengage if need be, but now, oh my days, Sir Mon does take down Nazi, and they won't have that ultimate. But now we're seeing a lot being engaged, or a lot of engages right now from
But
our RQ, as a lot of ultimates were used to take down Nameless. Three, oh sorry, I'm not even taking notice of how many people were taken down, but four
yeah,
people, bro, 4 people. That is crazy. 4 for nothing for RRQ as they take down this Lord.
I,
Um,
you can see that
yeah.
Camilla is not doing bad. It's just there's not been really follow-ups when she engages, and it's been they're getting punished for it, bro.
Yeah, man, they're getting punished for it. But the late game does. Okay, no, I don't even think so. I want to ask you a
Just-
question. Who do you think the late game favors in this, in terms of draft?
But they do the edit especially. He does scale a lot at the full build, and he's already dominating so much. He's been silently dominating. You haven't been taking note of it, but look at his.
Yeah, his KDA is really, really high at the moment. But Faye caught in a very bad position as he is taken down. A shutdown for Will B, but damn, Mon taking back the trades as he does get a double kill himself to equalize. That does give the advantage towards RRQ as they're barreling down in this mid lane. But we're seeing the Zaman Force from Will B engaging in the middle of the team fight and forcing RRQ to back up. What you were saying is starting to play out, man. That Will B is having a really good time at the moment, you know. And it's kind of
Yeah,
surprising since he has his hard counter here. So,
what the
as you're saying, what do you think about Will B's performance?
with his vengeance, bro, and he can easily just jump into the backline. I think he's just been a key pick for this team in this match. And without him, I think they wouldn't have had such a good game. He's been doing so much. He's been pushing lanes. He's been doing the damage, getting in team fights. Uh, I think he might be a problem.
Yeah, he
maybe
might
bad.
be a problem, but he will definitely, or rather, he is a problem when you look at his KDA. But right now, we are seeing a bit of a fight near the blue buff, but Delirious does manage to get that victory.
Or
Yeah, but
I,
let's just look at the builds at the moment because I'm kind of interested in seeing the types of builds that both these teams have picked up. What do you think about the Expo build? You know, usually they go for something else other than the Ice Queen, but what do you think about the Ice Queen for late?
the expert on with the ice queen build, bro, and especially the works just getting that true damage and that extra spell vamp with the ice queen wand and magic damage. So it's hard for you
So we're
to
seeing Salman right now engaging onto Nazi, and he does manage to get that kill. That does leave Delirious in a 1v4 situation. Be interesting to see if he gets out. That last insanity says, Alay comes in with the last insanity says, no, I will take you down. But Felix right now in the middle of everything, as well as a Fanny going onto Wilby, almost managed to get the kill, but unfortunately for her, the maneuvers are way too much. But Man does manage to get a double kill, an unofficial triple kill from him. He is carrying RRQ at the moment, but we are seeing that Netherrealm as well being popped up at the moment. They don't have the marksman to focus the torrent, so Nameless will be able to defend. Um,
ever
but
get a
yeah,
free.
man, a three for nothing is crazy at the moment. I know you mentioned will be, but what do you think about Salman's performance?
So who?
Salman, the Esme.
Yeah, Mohan was a good pick as well against the Fred and especially the Harriet. But Harriet has just been hard to catch from by Mohan, so maybe he should focus to get more on the Fred to just lowering his shield as much as possible, so Fanny can just swoop in with the with that kill, with that easy kill, and maybe if Fred is out, they can maybe do something uh, to end
Yeah,
here, right?
they that front line for Harriet is really helping him pop off at the moment. But we are seeing the Lord barrel down in the mid lane. That cursed blood being used. It does connect three members, and the damage is carrying on as Bay is taken really or relatively low. But we are seeing Salman engage with the Falling Star Moon, that Nether Realm, as well as the Tyrant's Rage mixed in with the Last Insanity, boxes in a few Faye rather turning up at the moment. He does get a triple kill, and that will lead RRQ to their victory. And I think this is their second victory of the night.
Victory!
GG's to them and well played. Unorthodox draft, but it does not matter as they get the win. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts on that game?
I say it was a good game. Both teams did well. They did all that they should have been doing at the correct times and things. The team fights was good. Although in the beginning, I asked for some fights and then they gave us a fight, bro, to watch. The last team fight especially, it was a 50-50 team fight. But when Xbox just popped up, that insane insanity, bro, that just finished them off. Frederic's health bar just went down so quick. It was quite a game, I'd say.
And quite a game indeed. But as we're looking at the statistics for the game, it kind of shows you how evened out RRQ were. In terms of their
Yeah.
damage, Lay does lead the stats in terms of that, but let that not blind you from how impactful Bay and Salman were, helpful in that type of skirmish. As you're seeing also their team fight participation, it's almost equaled out as they're swimming between that 50 to 70 mark. So it kind of shows you how they were grouping together. Whereas for the side of Nameless, we did see something of like, yeah, there we are. We did see a 38 or, yeah, 38 team participation. I know that's more kills oriented. However, it does show how at times they were divided, and that did allow RRQ to take the notch and
They,
to take this victory. But that is it from me. Any last thoughts before we give it back to Seppi and them?
yeah, I just want to say good game. It was a good game from RRQ and from Nameless. Both the teams did well, but the underdogs took it again. So with that being said, good game, guys. I'll give it to you.
The underdogs. Seems though the underdogs took it. Well said, Nightshade. And everybody, this is where me and Nightshade cut off. We handed back over to our trusted aides, our backup, uh, our second in command in Seppi, and the rest of the crew. This is us signing out.
All right, guys. Well, that was a very interesting match. I was very okay. That's the wrong screen. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, that was a very interesting match. Nameless Kings. I was very impressed by them. They definitely gave us a good early game to watch. You know, RRQ were definitely on their toes, right? They were starting to lose that early game. You know, the Fanny does struggle quite a lot against that Fredrin. You know, they did a pretty decent lane switch. Excuse me. With the Faramis and the Harith. That was a good idea, you know, make sure the Harith doesn't, get pummeled by the Esmeralda, getting his shields removed. So I was very impressed. However, yeah, I mean, that X-Borg, dude, that X-Borg made so much space and so much, and was so tanky, and it was just making it impossible for Nameless Kings to do anything in that game. So yeah, very well played to RRQ. They'll take their another win for themselves with that +3. Shantae and Jasmine, what are your thoughts about it?
I I honestly can't believe Nameless lost that. They were doing so well at the beginning, but as soon as after the first lower dance, we saw everything switch. Fanny got into his stride, so we saw just the dive ability of Fanny and just the survivability of X-Borg with the immortality being popped and still having a bit of HP left after that of this ult. So it really was a good match.
Yeah, it was a very good
Yeah.
match indeed. RRQ will take that +3 going forward in MSA group stages. However, Nameless Kings are not out of it just yet. They are coming back into the match in just a second now up against Zena Strikers. Now, obviously, both of these teams have played against RRQ, and maybe they've seen each other play now. So definitely see some action happening between these two. You know, some prior knowledge to whatever the others would like to play. Jasmine, how do you think this next game is gonna go out?
So I don't really know these teams, but what I have seen, I feel like, the tanky side that people are more going for. Yeah, I think we will see a Carmela, maybe a Fredrin again, Faramus pick, which is very good. So may the best team win.
May the best team win, that's for sure, as we're just finishing off the lobby right now. I mean, I'm very excited to see how they do. Both teams, I feel like both teams, they know what's cooking, right? They know what to take in terms of the draft, So yeah, I think they've got a good chance at taking each other out here. I believe that this is gonna be. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm struggling to speak right now. How many games are left for tonight? Is this the last one, or have we got some stuff after this?
We still have Novacore versus Nameless Kings. So Nameless has been playing a few matches in a row.
Okay, so Nameless Kings, yeah, they're definitely on the side of maybe some potential burnouts. I know it's real. Burnout is definitely real. It can affect your gameplay sense when it comes to it. So we'll have to see how Nameless Kings handles the pressure moving forward tonight specifically, and seeing if they can, keep it strong, keep it consistent. I'm just asking them if they want heads or tails, and they're not responding to me.
Just like Zenith wants heads.
Second. Oh my god. Is this a running joke where teams I say, hey, heads or tails, and then the teams are like second pick as an answer?
Even though they haven't even gotten the answer yet.
Yeah. Okay, well, Zena Strikers. What the hell? Okay, well, they wanted second pick anyway, so I'm telling you, you need to ask me whether they start or not.
I'm sorry, I put my phone down and and my finger slipped.
Oh my god. So yeah, I guess we're going straight into the game here. Let me switch it over for you guys. First and second pick were not determined, but we're just gonna go with what we have here, which is gonna be Zenith going in for first pick and Nameless Kings going in for second pick.
They wanted second pick anyway, so.
Nice. I guess you're right. So yeah, we'll just run with it. We're gonna have the Xbox being banned out by Zena Strikers here. You know, they've seen how RRQ use that hero, and they just don't want to play against it anymore. So they'll take it out, as well as the Martyrs and the chip being banned out by both the teams. Now this is you know, some pretty standard sort of stuff. I don't see anything too special. The chip definitely has shown to be quite impressive when it comes to these sort of 5v5 matchups.
Gaze the stars.
All right, we're gonna finish. Yeah, we're gonna finish that off with a Lua Yi, as well as going in for that first pick by a Brian, Zenith Brian. What are we looking for in this game? What are we expecting to happen?
I hope they were watching the previous match based on Nameless's rotation, so just as a bit of insight. So I'm expecting Zenith to come back with better rotation instead of focusing XP lane.
As we start off clean, going in for that Belleric first pick. Now I'm not too sure about that one, as will be able to get that Harris for himself. Jasmine, what is this Belleric here? How does it sort of fit into this sort of this 5 versus 5 right here?
Yo, yeah, I think it would be a good pick against them. I'm actually liking this Harith pick though, and how this guy plays the Harith. We saw it was RRQ. We saw how he played it in the back, escaping most of the time with 1 HP, and going with the Minotaur. I think that's a very good pick.
Yeah, that's definitely a strong pick, right? That Minotaur is definitely a hero that it has its presence in the meta currently. You know, just being able to, I think the strongest. Yeah. I don't know about that one, Chief. Kuro.
Meta? It's a jungle meta?
Listen, I've done this before, okay? I've actually done this before.
Yeah, but that's probably when you trolled, not like in a tournament.
I'm not saying it was good, okay? But it does have a sort of it does have a presence in the fact that, you know, it does win most trades. You know, Ixia's early game is quite strong for a marksman. So when you go and trade on like a 1-on-1 basis, or maybe even in a favorable matchup, then it does quite well. My only concern with this Ixia jungle is its jungle clear is incredibly slow. It's very, very slow. So I'm gonna have to see Kleem coming in and helping Kura out when it comes to clearing the jungle. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna see a Diggy by Carnage? What is happening right now?
I mean, I would have thought Nameless would go and pick up Ismay because of Hanabi, just to melt down that shield.
I mean, we can still pick up the Ismay jungle, right?
Are we saying that we're gonna get Belleric side and Diggy roam?
Okay. As we're gonna see, we're circling over the Nolan here. I'm not too sure about this one, if he does end up locking it here. They have a lot of saves when it comes to Zenith here, as well as the Valia, which is going to make Nolan's life a little bit difficult when it comes to taking these backline pickoffs. However, that being said, they still have a lot of backline, you know, they got this Ixia jungle, so it could work, but yeah, I mean, if we're looking at the drafts overall, I mean, my answer is pretty obvious when it comes to favoring a team. I don't. Whatever Zenith is cooking here, that thing better, you know, not give me food poisoning.
Halkid mid and Yenro.
I mean, we know there's no Mavericks here, unfortunately. But you know, the Mavericks have proved to us that, you know, these weird picks can prove viable in some situations. So I'm keen to see if it does work for Zenith or not. But yeah, any last thoughts? What are you guys' thoughts about the draft? You guys already know my answer.
No comment because okay, all I can say is let Zenith cook.
Yep, let them cook. Indeed. Well, I'll try and keep attention to how fast this Ixia clears. Maybe the dig will help her or not. But yeah, that's going to be the game going forward for you guys as we pass it to the casters.
Welcome back, everybody. And yeah, man, Zenith seemed to be cooking with Cairo going the Ixia in the jungle. Um, but I'm not really liking what's happening at the moment. What are your thoughts, Nate? What are your thoughts, bro?
Like Shippy said, these weird picks can help somehow. But let's see if they can cook. There's already something happening here with the red buff. Knowing that it's a marksman in the jungle, they can go for that early game.
Bit of an early game invade, but oh, Delirious is taken down really, really low actually. That did not plan out the way I thought it would. But you're seeing 4 people here in the mid, on this orange butt buff. Oh, but it clips. Don't give away, and he does give away the first blood already. But Felix also being caught really, really low. Clean, trying to clean up in the background as well, trying to go for a 3v1, and this blue buff is still, sorry, this orange buff is still up. With only a kill towards the side of Nameless. They do manage to get a double kill. Sorry, they do manage to get 2 kills, so that is a benefit towards them.
Kuro is not behind. He's actually ahead of Delirious.
Yeah, man, he's actually ahead, and I'm kind of surprised with the amount of damage that he was doing. He was dealt. But oh, we're seeing Brian right now in the top lane, almost being killed. So maybe he might want to think of going back. At this, it's not necessarily a surprise. They heard getting a lane advantage. But what do you think about this Hanabi pick, man? I know we want to talk about the Ixia, but what do you think about this Hanabi pick?
My opinion, any marksman you pick against a Harith in the gold lane is not a good idea. Maybe just pick a mage to go up against him, because dealing with magic damage early game is not good for a marksman, because he's too squishy. So,
yeah,
but
we did see that Zaman Falls being used up. I think they're trying to invade onto Brian, and they do manage to get the kill, but now it's a 50-50 for the red tree, and the Kuro does manage to get it. He does use that for barrage, but no members or few members caught in it. But Kuro caught in a very bad position as the Dragon Boy and Delirious engage onto him, and killing spree for Delirious as he does get that kill. So other than getting the turret, no trades has been going for Zenith Strikers right now. They're being striked down, and it's starting to look bleak, man. What do you think? What do you think are Zenith's chances for a comeback here? Because that's the only way I'm thinking they're gonna win.
It's still early game, bro. They can, anything can happen.
Days, it's still early game, but Delirious managing to get the kill, as well as Felix using that Minoan Fury to get a kill onto the Diggy Carnage, and the rest of.
Remember, they're gonna have to go against 2 marksmen late game, and both of these marksmen.
True. They're gonna have to go up against 2 marksmen in the late game, but it'll be interesting to see if we even get to the late game. That full barrage was used in the mid lane for I Don't Tank. I'm only seeing the name now, but at top lane, the Zaman Force is being used up, and Brian is caught in a very bad position. Will B does manage to get a kill. So on the scoreboard is a 10-0 kill ratio. It is looking bleak, man.
But why would you pick a marksman to jungle with in the first place, bro? What goes through your head when you make that decision?
Nah, they're trying to cook. As panelists have mentioned, they're trying to cook. But who knows what they're trying to cook? Maybe they're trying to cook a loss out of the MSA tournament, but it still remains to be seen.
But yeah, let's see what happens, bro. Let's see. I don't think they're gonna do anything now. But
I Don't Tank manages to get a few members low, forcing out Diki's ult in the meantime to save Kuro. This is not looking good, as the Minotaur will have free reign. But now the top lane is being focused by the Herod and it is taken quite low, man. So not only is the turret shielding, but the turtle as well. But No Name are really trying to make a name for themselves in this tournament. They're mounting the pressure onto Zenith Strikers. But we're seeing a full barrage by Kyo. Doesn't really get anything. I think that was a bit of a whiff. But at the top lane, we are seeing Brian. Brian again is really losing to this Herod as it is popping off. But Wilby is low from the torrent shot, and Fearless does die from that turn shot. Unfortunately for Zenith FC, it won't count as a kill for them.
Looking
Uh,
at a 9 jungler against a level 7 jungler, it's level 6.
but look at Delirious at the moment. Look at Delirious trying to get a kill onto Brian, and a monster kill. He does manage to get a kill, just mounting on the advantage that he has at the moment. But Carnage really, really low, trying to defend this top lane, but he will not be enough.
I would
But now we're
say
seeing
this.
the Black Dragon form being used by Nazi to engage onto Kuro. It does purify, petrify, sorry, combination, but unfortunately it does not get the kill. How did Nazi not manage to get the kill into that, and how did Kuro survive? But now we're seeing Diggy ult that does not save anyone as he is taken down by Delirious. No Name are focusing on the mid, but huge full barrage, which unfortunately didn't play out as I think they were hoping for. But now a lot of members from the side of Zenith FC are dropping like flies as they're getting killed one by one. Carnage here near the blue buff trying to disturb some of the invades from No Names, but it's not working out. What are your overall thoughts on the game so far, man? I know we're seeing a bit of a decimation, but maybe you seeing a
Oh,
light at the end of the tunnel.
honest, I would like to say this game can still go either way, but I would be lying. This, but this game is going one, and that's straight to me.
This game is going one way, one way. It's a highway, man, and no name or nameless at the steering wheel. But right now, a few ults being used up near the blue buff as well as the Black Dragon, but that passive from the Yuzon doesn't manage to get the kill onto Kiro. The survivability on this marksman jungle is insane, or at least compared to everybody else in his team. But this is starting to look bad, man.
Nah,
Let's try to be optimistic. What do you think Zenith FC can do to come back?
what they can do is, bro, is start another match. But if you
Not
are on
another,
being honest,
not
why
another
would
match. That is true. But Will B does manage to get another kill onto Brian at the top lane. That's a 0-5 and 0 for Brian. Whereas Will B has a 4-0 and 2. The KDA speaks for itself. This game is looking rather bleak. But now Delirious is looking and targeting for that blue buff. Will he get the red tree? He does whiff it, giving Curie the opportunity to get it. But now we're seeing Diggy use that ult as well as the final barrage from Kuro. But Delirious just ignoring the backline and going onto him. Does manage to get the kill as well. So that is a 2-for-nothing trace towards.
uh, you
Oh
from
my days, Nazi just playing it off and says, you know what? I'm gonna be like Oprah Winfrey and give you a kill for free.
oh,
Maybe that will push the morale for Zenith FC, man. What do you think? Maybe this is the morale boost they need.
bro, the only thing they are cooking right now is literally the only hero that has fire, and, and that's
Yeah,
Clips
it's
is
just looking bad, man. It's just looking bad at the moment. But maybe let's just take this a bit of a different route. What, in terms of kill pressure, the amount of kills you expect to see in this game, what do you think the final score would be?
I'd go for maybe 30 to 2, 32.
Yeah, a bit of a grace, 2 kills. You never know. But we are still a few kills away from that objective. But for now, Nameless Kings are focusing on this Lord, trying to end this game as quickly as humanly possible, and they do get it for free. Maybe
I'm
let's just touch on the builds. You want to touch on the builds that both of these two teams have?
Okay, let's just touch on the one side build, other team people building. Um, but look at look at Harris, bro, completely dominating. 3 items in the bag, about to cap another one, and then we have Yuzhong already with taking damage, hardly even buying defense, because he's just thinking, why should I buy defense? And then
Yeah,
what's
but
it?
oh, we did see a good final barrage from Zenit FC, and I think this is one aspect that we're underestimating from this team. They have really, really, and I mean really good tower defense. With the full barrage from. But okay, now we're seeing a Minoan Fury engaged in the mid lane, but that Felix is taking a lot of damage. But now Will B comes in with the clutch, does manage to get a double kill, but Will B shut down for his efforts. That is a two. Oh, sorry, that is a 1-for-3 trace towards the side of No Name as they're barreling down on these torrents. That it is starting to look likely they will get a few inhibitor torrents, but the base defense from that Hanabi is popping off at the moment.
They
But
should just pick the minion like coming in right now. That's all they should be doing. They shouldn't try any sort of fighting. Just defend. If they can make it to level 13 or 14,
okay, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, hopefully they can make it to at least level 13 or 14. Just try to give Brian a few items to hopefully come back, because
do
it is starting to look bad, man. Starting to look bad, but
first of
I
all,
don't even know. I'm
Nabi,
shell shocked.
mm-mm, so no.
Yeah, you were saying?
You don't pick a Nabi, especially in tournaments, bro. You need a hero with some mobility, and then you can
But you never
jump.
know, man. Thankfully the name is kind of the same, but we have seen teams outside of SA, especially in the MPL, teams like RRQ, Indonesia, pop off with the Layla pick, who has a lot less mobility compared to the Hanabi.
Yeah, but
So
Layla has that range, bro, and she has the flicker. Whereas Navis, normally players would use her with the Argus spell. So in terms of mobility, Nabi is completely useless in that sense. Layla's have some sort of.
but delirious, man, just absolutely deleting press alt deleting Carnage at the moment. Carnage was supposed to be there, light and shining armor, but unfortunately, he is the first to go down. But you were saying about the Leslie and the Hanabi.
Yeah, I was just saying that the Layla has a bit of mobility at least with the first skill. But back to Nolan, bro. Delirious. How on earth did they not, consider at least picking a hero that can actually go in the front line for them? Because
Yeah,
Nolan
but
is.
now we're seeing a lot of alts being used up here, as well as the dread of sorry, that Belaric's ult. That is almost a complete wipe out for Zenith FC. So unfortunately for you, Nightshade, that prediction of 2 and 30 will not come true, but that does give a genuine pathway for Zenith FC to come back, man. That late game, as soon as they have their items, they might come back in this.
Bro,
But
if
what
they.
do you think about that play? What do you think about that play specifically?
Yeah, that was a good play, bro. Maybe Zena just went in too fast. I mean, nameless. They went in too quick. Didn't wait for the load. So they got punished for that.
Yeah, they got punished for that, and now Zenith, I'm saying, but Zenith FC, Zenith Strikers are responding. But in the bot lane, we are seeing a Black Dragon form being used up. I think his target at the moment, or his target was the Valier, but hopefully DK came in clutch with the ult. But now they have to disengage. But now
But
we're
Navi,
seeing a 1v1 at the top lane, a Hereth versus Ixia. Seems as though Will B might be victorious, and he does manage to get the kill.
I
So
think,
1v1. You were saying?
and Anabe and Ixia should get the demon hunters. Let's just take a look at the item and see what they're rolling with. So both of them does have the demon hunter. Maybe just get some penetration alongside it and get just to melt those tanky Yuzhong and the Minotaur. And the Herod is quite tanky as well, bro.
Yeah, the health is quite tanky, but we are seeing Carnage forced to use that ultimate a bit too early. Will be and the rest of no names are coming in, but that full barrage is used and it is working overtime, man. It did help them manage to get the kill onto Felix as well as Nazi. The Nazis, they were dominant in the 19 somethings, but not now, it seems. But now we'll be saying, no, you know what? I can come back and I can do something here. But Clean making sure that his effectiveness in that is, nullified. But that is a very good trade towards Zenith FC. They do manage to take out 2 members from Nameless, and this is not as bleak as we thought, man. This is not as bleak as we thought.
As we're jumping into this late game, bro, it might be a bit harder on Nameless now to end. We got a Nabi just cleaning lanes easily. We got the Ixia on the damage and cleaning lanes. So if they don't engage in a good team fight, they might not be able to end, bro.
Yeah, man. And if everybody keeps getting caught in the Wrath of Dryad by Clean, it might very well fall Nameless, but Nameless just absolutely decimating Felix. But now we're seeing a full barrage. Kuro in the back line doing a
That
decent amount of damage.
the
That also the Hanabi's taken down in that Will B is absolutely turning up at the moment, dealing a decent amount of damage. I don't tank doesn't necessarily have that passive, but Clean going back in, unfortunate for him, and it is a shutdown for him. But oh, Curie coming back saying, I want a trade, and in trade he does get. That does leave the base uninhibited and unprotected as Delirious is marching down on this base. But Carnage will be up, so it'll be a 2v2 for this base defense. And it seems as though he will not force the matter, and he disengages, allowing for Zenith FC, to do a bit of housekeeping. But man, these team fights are very back and forth. You never really know who's gonna win now. Unlike how it was in the early game, seems as though both these two teams have a bit of fight in them. But now, Nameless have taken the load, and they might want to use this to end. It'll be interesting
oh,
to see if they play it out well, or if this might be another wipeout. So, how do you think this one will play out before we get into that Lord fight that's going to happen in a moment?
there might be another load fight, bro. There might be another load because now with the items they have, they can easily clean the lanes. They can do so much damage as you saw how they just melted down that Mino before between Anabi and Ixia. So if they play this well, they can go to another load fight.
Oh, but Carnage forced to use that ultimate a bit too early. But Felix jumping in with literally no way of getting any damage. But Herod is absolutely brought down as well as I don't tank. A double kill for Brian. And this starting to, or rather, it does look good for Zenith.
This is what
Uh,
bro, that they won't be able to end now.
yeah, man, they won't be able to end. We were clowning their composition, and rightfully so. But if you allow a team composition of 2 marksmen to really go onto the late game, it can be rather dangerous for you. But Delirious caught in a very bad position. But on the top lane, Kuro might be taken down, and a 1v1 went to the side of. That first name is still confusing me. I'm calling him Nazi, but I still don't know what to call him. But he did manage to get the kill there. So even though they have the advantage in the late game, the advantage is dependent on how they play that base defense. If they don't get out, this game might actually reach the 30th minute, man. What do you think?
Yeah, this game still has a lot to show, bro. I think it still has a lot to show. Although they are struggling now, they are quite putting up quite the fight.
Yeah, they're putting up quite the fight, and a death or two to the right members, and it might very well for Zenith FC. Zenith FC, Zenith Strikers. I keep calling them, keep calling them FC, man. I don't know why. Maybe it's in the name. Uh,
Now in the late game, the Zenith Eclipse, they are earning more gold than what uh Nameless are earning, bro. Especially if they get the kill, they get double the gold. So this game can still go either way.
but we're at that point where gold lead doesn't really matter at this point. Everybody's full build and everybody is dealing the full potential amount of damage. So it's only up to skill, timing, and precision. Seems
Well,
as
they can
though
switch items, now, bro. Easily. That's what I mean with the gold they have now. So now they can buy a winter intrusion in time. They can buy uh, uh, a extra life. So things can go really in Gina's favor if they play it well, bro. But now with that double
yeah, man, it
enhanced,
can go either way. I think they call it the evolved lord, if I'm not mistaken. But
revolve,
that is what we're most likely to see. But do you think
it-
this lord will be the end of this game, or do you think we still have another 10 to 15 minutes of this game?
nah, the minions are synced pretty well, and those are all evolved cannons coming in, bro. It's gonna be hard to maintain those lanes. But the load is still pretty fast, and they do
Yeah,
have
it's
enough
still
range quite quickly. But
yeah,
it's
man. They
very
have enough tools to clear this up. I am lagging a bit. Maybe I won't catch everything, so forgive me for that. But the Lord is marching down in the mid lane. Both marksmen are gearing up their tools to defend and attack. As I'm sorry, I'm lagging. I can't see anything at the moment.
oh, that barrage is so powerful.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, the
five.
Minoan Fury is used up here onto the back line, but now it seems as though Nameless will focus the torrent and they do manage to end the game. Sorry for that. I had a bit of network problem, so I couldn't see a lot, but I did manage to catch that snippet near the end. Unfortunate and sorry for that, guys. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts on that game? It was a heck of a lot more interesting than I thought it would be.
The late game popped off nicely, but that whole first 10 minutes to 15 minutes was just it was unnecessarily overpowered by Nameless because why would you the draft didn't make sense for me. They were too squishy to have a marksman jungler. First of all, they needed to have a decent XP laner, and maybe the clean was playing quite well, and maybe they didn't need a Tiggy. They could have maybe picked up better tank. Tiggy would have been it was a nice pick for to counter Minotaur's ult, yes, but he would die in the process anyways because of the backline abilities that comes from the side of Nameless. But overall, they did put up a fight afterwards, but they were completely dominated and for good reason.
Yeah, man, wise words from Nightshade there. This is the second last game of the tournament, so stay tuned, guys. We still have another treat for you guys. And if I'm not mistaken, it will be Nameless versus Nova Core. But for my 2 cents for that last game, you know what, I've clowned on the composition that they had, but I think it had certain advantages in the late game. The Minotaur, which is Nameless first engages, he can't necessarily engage. He can't necessarily use that Minoan Fury first because of the Diggy. He can just purify everything. But considering that you have a Hanabi as well as a Valir, I think you don't necessarily need that Diggy, because they both have built-in purifiers that would be helpful in team fights. So maybe getting a different Roma as well as a jungler. If you want to go for a marksman jungler, I think Granger was available. And if you want to go for a support, I think other supports like Florin and Florian and maybe even an Angelo available. I don't even know, man. I don't know what they could have done. I don't know how they could have done it, but unfortunately they could not do it as Nameless gets the 3 points. But that is my 2 cents, and that is where I leave that analysis for that game. Maybe Seppi and the rest of them have something else they want to add.
Thanks,
So
Ari / Nigel. Yeah, that was definitely a game that we saw. That was very interesting, right? There was a lot happening, right, with the Diggy and the Minotaur, right? That was the classic matchup that we saw. But yeah, I mean, the best team won here. It was close. It was close for sure. You cannot underestimate that high ground when it comes to the Hanabi and the Ixia with the Beleric. You know, I feel like that was the reason they were still in this game, right? Was because the Beleric was holding that front line so well and controlling up the enemies in the right times. Yeah, Shantae, any thoughts about your guy, from you about that game? Shantae. Okay. Anyway, by the way, guys, just quickly, I want Jake to move us to the caster channel because we did have a spectator there that we didn't need. Don't worry, we did deal with him swiftly. He was out of the call.
Okay, so on my side, I think that having the two marksmans would obviously have been the best thing in late game wise, but as Nitro said, they didn't have a tanky front line, so I think that's where they faltered. If Diggy was a mid Diggy and they put Beleric in Rome, maybe things would have turned out in a different way. It's Novacore. We have Novacore and
Okay, so it looks like they don't really understand what heads or tails means from from Nameless Kings here. So we're gonna have to go with whatever they say here, which is gonna be heads coming in from Jeff. And Jasmine, I think Jasmine's back here. What do you think about that game, Jasmine? That was an interesting one.
Jasmine's not back.
Oh, is that not Jasmine? Oh, okay. I thought she just joined. Never mind. Anyway, Jake, is Jake here? Can we just move us? Can we just move all of us to the caster channel?
I've given everyone the role.
So okay. So can I just ask everyone to move over to the commentators channel over there? It should be above us somewhere there. Okay, looks like everybody's here. Okay, cool. As we're now looking into the last match for tonight, we are looking at Novacore versus, the Nameless Kings. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting last match, I believe. Nameless Kings, they've been going through some interesting things, such as that last draft coming in from Zena Strikers. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be a close game. I feel like both of these teams are on a similar skill level, so I'm definitely keen to see what is happening between these two. Shantae, anything you'd like to say about either of the teams coming into this game now?
I see both of them has changed the draft from the previous matches that they've played.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Anima is not playing for Novacore or Blaze. And then we have lost the previous roamer. Can I stop?
Yeah.
There we go. And then the goat came in.
Oh, stream. Yeah, I'll get the stream now.
Your team is banning.
wait, you're telling me the stream wasn't even up?
No, the Discord stream. Sorry, guys. Let me just fix my audio here. I'll be back in a second. All right, there we go. We are back, and now I will stream on Discord. Okay, now we start the things off with that Martyrs ban coming in from Novacore here. They obviously do not want to try anything against that hero. There are a few counters to it, but you know, sometimes you're just like, nah, I don't want to have to deal with that guy with the swords. As we also ban the Harith, so that's going to be a good ban against Will B coming in here. With the Barrett's pick of the Baron's ban as well from Nameless Kings, that makes sense as well. But yeah, I feel like these are not so bad bans.
I think they did a bit of research on each other
I literally invented one.
and watched the previous matches.
Yeah, definitely some research was to be had. You know, they definitely were watching the last game, so that would make a lot of sense. As we also see the chip being banned out, so that's another hero that's quite strong right now, being taken out of the pool. As we're looking into the first pick coming in from Novacore right now, there's a lot open, there's a lot to do. You know, we've got Esmeralda, we've got Lu Yi, Hylos. Don't know if that's the best first pick coming in here, but hey, it's a pick here.
A Layla pick, I think the Costas just spoke about the Layla pick.
Really, it will be a Layla player, and we'll have to see it in action if it comes out here. As we're looking, oh, there it is. There's the Xbox being picked up by Pocoyo. I'm gonna call him that. I'm not gonna call him the second part of that name.
I think Poco is we can go with Poco there.
Yeah. As we got Poco with the jungle Xborg actually, so we might be seeing that happen there. As you also see the Roger coming out from Novacore here, that's a very good pick. I feel like that will definitely show its face within this game. But we also obviously have this Tigreal. Now this is a safe enough pick obviously because they have picked the Hylos, so there is not really a threat of Diggy just yet. I don't feel like they really want to play it mid, so we'll have to see how they draft around it. Dyroth, you know, it's a decent Dyroth game. I feel like it'll do okay. As hovering the Layla. Nope.
No. So I think they still think that Roger's going to go into the jungle. That's why they didn't pick Layla. So they want to make sure.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, I feel like it's definitely, you know, they're waiting for the perfect Layla game to be available for them to pick before they they slam it. And also it's a bit of mind games, right? They were showing the Layla out, so now Novacore, they're like thinking, yeah, there might be a Layla we have to play against, so they're maybe gonna draft some more jump or something like that. As you also see the Lu Yi banned out, that's a decent one. I really like that ban being taken out here. As instead of the Layla, we're gonna go with the Ixia coming in from Wilby, who, yeah, I mean, we saw how effective the Ixia can be if it does get items from that last game. Not sure it's gonna be going jungle though this time.
I honestly feel like that Ixia and Hanabi pick of the previous match, it was a fluke, so I don't think they set out roles for each other. So when push came to the shove, Ixia had to go jungle. And the picking time ran out. But I'm liking the Valir pick here.
Yeah, Valir, yeah, I really like it into the Tigreal, right? That's another classic counter matchup against a Tigreal, because when he does use that implosion on you, you can purify with that vengeance flame and push him back, not being able to do any follow-up stuns to that implosion. So yeah, very good pick from Yokai there. As Jeff with the alpha, also really like that. It's going to be able to man fight a few of the members coming in on Nameless Kings. As we finish off the draft with that Lilia, that standard Lilia and Tigreal combo, it has proven very deadly in these last games that we've seen. So I'm keen to see it once again. But yeah, Shantae, what about this draft here? What do you think? Who's favorite in this matchup?
I'm going with Nameless. Just based off the combos that they can do, the Tigreal and the Teresla together with the Xborg and the Ixia coming with the backline, and so I really think that their lineup would be good against Novacore. So I'm going with Nameless this time around.
I think I have to disagree with you. I think that Novacore's draft, the only problem I have with it is just the Hylos. I feel like the Hylos is really going to struggle in this game. But other than that, I really like Novacore's draft quite a lot. I like the Roger in the gold lane. It's going to have a nice time against the Ixia. I like the Valia into the Tigreal. That makes a lot of sense. It's going to be able to also help control the Terizla up a bit. And then the Alpha and the Dairoth able to cut down that front line that they have coming in. So I'm really liking that from Novacore here. But yeah, that'll be the draft for you guys. We'll hand it to the casters for you right now for this game between Novacore and Nameless Kings.
Uh-huh. Yep. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Seppi. And just before these two teams get into action, Nightshade, what are your thoughts? Which team are you favoring right now?
I'm in the favor of Novacore. Like Seppi said, they have a good lineup. The drafts are equally good. But yeah, let's see where it takes us. And we're hoping to see a lot of action in this game.
Hoping to see a lot of action. But the Purifier was forced out from the Roger really, really early. So maybe that will open up an opportunity for a gank for them. But in terms of draft, I'll go the opposite way. I kind of like Nameless's draft at the moment. Roger is one of the most meta marksmen, or rather, one of the meta gold laners. But I think a lot of it is because he dominates most of the marksmen. But when you come down to Ixia, she can trade off really, really well in the early game. So I don't necessarily think that advantage will show. But execution speaks for a lot. We've seen both these two teams rotate to the top lane. Both these junglers already have level 4, so maybe this might be the trigger they need for a mid fight or something. But both these two teams playing relatively safe. But before the turtle spawns, which team do you think has the better composition for the first turtle?
Early game, they have Nameless. They have the Lilia. They have Teak with it, the control, and in Xbox with it, Lost Insanity. So I would say they have a stronger early game.
Okay, but Felice being run up really, really early. Killua absolutely tearing up with that Faraga armor onto Poco, but he is caught in a very bad position. He does manage to escape, but that passive from Terizla might take him down. And first blood, it does. That is a semi 1-for-1, as I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I am mistaken, but it was Novacore that managed to get the first solo. But top lane, we are seeing a 1v1, and Will B uses that full barrage to also get a bit of the trade. So it is, right now it is still 1 kill for, the scoreboard is still 1 kill for Nameless Kings. But what do you think about Felicia's position at the moment? We are seeing being taken really, really low.
Felicia's not that impactful right now, but I'm sure there's some shits coming in from the Teak throughout the match. So I'm hoping to see that flicker combo come in place.
Yeah, hopefully that flicker combo comes in place. But I don't think Roger is aware that the Tigreal is there at the moment. He will be forced to use that Purify, and he does. But Ixia will be engaged on. But Felicia also uses that Implosion. Does manage to get everybody else, but no damage to follow it up. But Jeff caught in a very bad position here. Does manage to escape as Poco. It seems as though some of our panelists don't like the other name, but Poco allows him to retreat. So the advantage does go towards Novacore for now.
Yeah. Looking at the gold lead, it's pretty much still even. There's not big much of a difference in gold in terms of items. Most of them just bought boots as the first item. And Xbox is probably building a war axe at the moment. Still a few dollars short. But yeah, let's see what happens in this turtle dance.
It's still a few dollars short. He owes the jungle man for a few items. But now it seems as though Novacore have priority over this turtle, and it will be a free turtle as it is uncontested. They did manage to use the red tree in that skirmish. I thought maybe they might want to save it for a bit of an invade, but they decide against it. Unlike some of these other games we've seen, this is playing I don't want to say slow, but really, really passive. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think they probably watch all the games for tonight and realize maybe point out some pointers in the cloakroom and say to themselves, okay, let's try to approach it this way, slow things up, don't rush. So maybe they can do things different and it will work for them. So let's just see if it does in fact work for them.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. But right now at the top lane, we are seeing a 4v4 as Novacore trying to I think they're trying to jump onto,
Ooh,
but
there's a Pico
Prince
combo.
does manage to get the implosion as well as a full barrage from Will B. Does manage to catch Lost. I'm kind of surprised that only one member went down. But as we've mentioned, Yokai with that Purify as well as Roger with that Purify. They will be relatively safe. But now the tables have turned. It seems as
Ooh,
though
here
it's the
comes
Roger who's
that
caught
guy.
in a very bad position. The final, uh, that last insanity. Some of these alt names get confusing, but they did manage to get the kill onto Roger as well as get the turn. So it is advantage towards no n- nameless kings. But what do you think about how this game is playing out at the moment?
I would say it's pretty much even still. They got it added, yes, but in terms of economy, they still pretty much even. So Xbox has picked up the War X. Oh, it's the wrestler who picked up the War X. So he's gonna do us quite some damage now and will be able to sustain also with that item. So might not want to, fight that beast right now.
Yeah, man. As you've mentioned, the kill pressure or the kills are to the side of no name or nameless, but that does not very well. That does not mean they will dominate the game. But Paco being taken down really, really low, as well as the Faraga armor being taken down. I think that damage was coming from Yokai. I'm still not sure about that, but it seems as though Novacore will manage to get the first two towers, but Felix manages to use implosion onto that Raja, but the Purifier was active. Seems as though they're trying to invade onto this two members. They do manage to get a stun onto Ixia and a kill as well. They are hunting and they are looking, but it is Lost who manages to get the kill. So unlike
That's
Nameless Kings, Nova King
that's the
managed to get
beauty of
two kills
Halo.
and the torrent.
That's the
You were
beauty
saying?
of Halo. Is very good in tower diving. His ultimate the glorious parts make it so good. Can easily run up and then escape and take the
Oh, but
on
I
top
don't
of that
tank
it's
out in a
so
very bad
damage.
position, forced to use those black shoes. I'm kind of surprised he didn't use it earlier. Maybe he thought the range wasn't close enough for him to use it. But as we're slowly approaching, that 8 minute mark, who do you think has the advantage overall between these two teams?
It's still pretty much even. You can't yet predict which way it's gonna go. Even in terms of kills, in terms of gold. Well, just got the 3K gold now with it, the tower push bot lane and the minions.
But
But
Jinx the Gold caught in a very bad position as 5 members from the side of Nova King implode onto him.
ooh,
But we
nice
are
bot.
seeing an implosion as well, and the Roger is tanking that torrent damage. But now it seems as though Fumas, Killua did manage to get the kill as well. But now Backshoes being used by I Don't Tank. Popo kill caught in a very bad position, but Jeff manages to take down I Don't Tank. In the meantime, Ixia, takes back the trade by getting a torrent as well. So even though it was a kill trade, even though it was a kill trade for Novacore, it was a torrent trade for Nameless Kings. But
I
in the
think
mid lane, we are
that
seeing a bit of a
was
skirmish in the mid lane.
hmm
Uh, yeah, Poco being brought up really, really low. That will give Novacore the Lord pressure to be able to take down this Lord with relatively low competition, and that is what we are seeing at the moment. But you were saying before I interrupted.
I was just about to say that with Ixia pushing that golden turret down to the inhibitor. It was a nice little gold grab for her. But
Oh, but we're
didn't do
seeing a big
much of it.
implosion from Felix. But Killua engaging onto I don't tank. But Terrence, sorry, the Jinx, the GOAT, engaging onto four members. But no damage and no follow up from the rest of Nameless Kings. Maybe, maybe Nameless Kings are suffering from that burnout that Sippy was talking about, man. Do you think that is playing a part in this game right now?
Yeah, this is a Mobile Legends is a mind game and it can be tiring. So they might be suffering from a little bit of jet lag, as I would say.
Yeah, we're already building up the excuses for them. They're a very good team and they have shown it. But right now, we are seeing that glorious pathway from lost just to make sure that they gain this mid torrent. But the full barrage from Ixia does manage to get a few members, and Yokai is relatively low, but he will survive. He was forced to pop out that ult, was hoping to get a few movement boost. And fortunately for him, that was enough for him to survive. But
I think
based on the
Tyrus was
general
such
level,
a
who do you
good
think
pick,
is the
bro.
MVP of the game so far?
Tyrus was such a good pick alongside Roger. That both of them have the ability to melt down, high HP heroes. But the star pick for me was the Alpha and
Oh, we're
the
seeing
Valia.
okay,
Alpha was a
we're
good
seeing a
pick
bit of a
with
play
his
from the
CC.
Tigreal. But fortunately for them, or fortunately for Novacore, it did not work out. But a big
Ooh,
implosion into a final
ooh.
barrage for Nameless Kings. How is nobody dead from that? But Papa Poco does manage to get the kill onto Jeff. But kind of goes to show how tanky Novacore are, man. You know,
Yep.
I don't know what their builds are at the moment, but they are tanking a lot of what Nameless Kings have to drop out for them.
Looking at the items, like I said earlier on, when Teresla picked up the War Axe, that was already when he got a strong damage output and really tanky as well. And then he just went to build the uh the Ice Queen, not the Ice Queen. What you call this thing now again?
The
I'm
dominance.
losing my mind. Yeah, the dominance ice he built. It was a good build against a tyrant, and just to cut down the HP recovery heals.
Yeah, just to cut down
Ooh,
the
what
hills,
a
but
nice
we are
build.
seeing Felix in the background with an implosion, but it was onto
Really
a
struggling.
very bad member for him. But we are seeing a final barrage as well. Yokai brought really, really low, but he does manage to survive. So that is a one-for-one trade. Two tanks have gone down, but Novacore are relatively low. However, oh my days, they managed to bust down that load with relative ease. I don't tank taken really, really low. He might want to disengage, but the Lycan Pounce almost being activated from the Roger. That does lead to Jeff being taken down. I think they were also trying to get this purple buff a bit. I think they stayed way too long, and that allowed for Nameless Kings to come up with the goods.
I
So,
think Tigre might be struggling to land alt because of the Purify and Volia. It's hard for him, but he's making do.
yeah, man, he's making do, especially when you have a direct counter in the opposition team. So he did manage to get a few. So if they can just find somebody to, bait out all these battle spells, I think he can come up with something.
Yeah.
But now Nameless Kings have a bit of a load or a base defense. Or it's not even a base, but they have to defend against this load, and I think it is an enhanced or the one that charges onto the base. I forget their names, but it is that, and it will do a bit of damage to their base torrent, allowing
Staying
for
on. So
Novacore to focus on the other torrents. You were saying, I saw that I was disturbing you, but a big implosion. However, Roger does have that purify. That bell spell is really coming in handy for him at the moment. He did
yes,
not take that. It would have been GG.
this is one of those games with low kills.
Okay. I've seen games with low kills, meaning like 4 or 5 overall, and it's like the 15th minute. But yeah, relatively speaking, this is a low kill count, man. But
This
take us
is
through the items. Take us through the items. What are we seeing at the moment?
so at the moment, the Rizzler and X-Book and Tigreal are suffering, but the itemization is good. But looking at Tyrant with the endless battle, Blade of Hypnosis and the CL, but it just makes it impossible for them to, defend against him. And then Roger coming in with the Demon Hunter shoot and the penetration, it's just a bit hard for those tanky heroes to stand their ground against him.
Yeah, man, it's a bit hard for them to stand against it. That Trinity built from Roger, and I think, oh no, okay, he's building towards a BOD. I think he's building towards a BOD, but Killua caught in a very bad position, forced to use the flicker. But if that's action to show us that he is a good sport, but I don't know if using the flicker there was worth it. The Lord is up in a few moments, but you are seeing a concealed play from Tigreal. Just look at Tigreal at the moment. He's looking for something. He's hunting. And unfortunately for him, he could not find it. But oh, Terizla taken extremely low. But the implosion from Tigreal does not amount to anything, as he was taken down before it could do any real damage. Will be taken down, and Roger is traded for it. But Novacore do manage to get the Lord and 2 kills as well, so it is not necessarily bad for them. However, their marksman went down, and they do have a. Is it a luminous Lord? Is it past the
Yeah,
18th minute? I'm not
it's the third load or the second load.
Yeah, but
It's
is it the
Luminous load.
luminous? I'm not sure. I think it's still an
It's
enhanced
the
one, so
Bob
it
load.
won't necessarily be as big. But
It's the
a
Bob.
lord is a lord, man. Oh, okay, it's an evolved lord, but we
They
are
have two
seeing I
loads.
don't
They have
tank take
Halos
it
as
really,
well.
really low. Here in the mid lane, Lost is going onto I don't tank, forced him to be really, really low, and I don't know if this is worth it for Lost because if he's low, they won't necessarily have that they won't necessarily have that front laner for when they try to take down a turret. But
Yeah.
yeah, what do you think about sorry, not Novacore, Nameless? What do you think about their wave clear?
Nameless can definitely defend this load. They have Lilia for that wave clearing, and they have Teak for nice control if needed, and also Ixia with the barrage in the backline. But if Roger decides to go in for the backline, he can go easily and get out easily in that wolf form, and it
Yeah,
does
well
so much
said.
damage.
Yeah, man, well said. But now we're seeing that 2 base inhibitor torrents have been taken down, but Novacore will play it disciplined. They don't want to force the issue, but they do want to take all the inhibitor torrents, make sure that we leave no name or
Yeah,
nameless with
leave with
no
something in the
windows and
pocket.
no doors.
Yep.
But yeah, man, this is how the game is panning out at the moment. And I kind of see what you were talking about with the low kill count at the moment. A 10v9 or 10 to 9 kill ratio is not necessarily that bad. But now we have the builds on for sure. Maybe take us through what we're seeing at the moment.
At this point of time, most of them are full built. This is the roamers basically that need some extra items, and then looking at Ixia's build, that build is going to be very dangerous now in this late game. She just picked up penetration and she's going for a pod right now. If she gets that pod before the game ends, it's going to be tough to end. So, but then again, they have the alpha on the other side. They can easily also slide to the back, and then Roger coming in for the cleaning up. So this game can pretty much go either way. If there comes a decent setup from Teak, baiting out all the spells and things. If that setup comes through with Ixia's barrage, then they can go for a straight mid lane end.
Yeah, man, a straight mid lane and is in the cards for them. But we are seeing Jinx pick up that antique. But in the meantime, it seems as though Novacore will be able to take down this lord for free. And now it
Yep.
will be a Luminous Lord, so it will deal a heck of a lot more damage than the other ones
Yep.
used to.
Yep. And looking at the minions and the side lanes, they are equally synced, so it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, man, they have really good wave management, but it all depends on this last play, man. Can they play it well? We have seen in the previous game how good the Ixia can be.
Look
So
at the Tig, bro. Look at the Tig. He's just waiting in bush there, waiting for that shift.
yeah, I was hoping to force out a few somethings, but unfortunately it did not happen. But
Oh,
Roger, look at Roger in the back line causing a lot of damage. The full barrage does come out as well as the flicker combination. Few members are taken down because of it, and it is a wonderfully traded skirmish for the side of Nameless. They do manage to get a kill onto two members, with Palco coming in with the last insanity to finish off. It seems as though Novacore are a bit low, so they couldn't take full advantage of that load. Whereas Nameless Kings, I think they'll be happy with it. They managed to get a kill onto the jungler as well as the tank and get a few kills on the board, and the Ixia is still alive. But what do you think about that play, man?
even so, bro, even so, they got their kills and they managed to defend it. You see that the damage that came through from the side of Nova on that glorious part, they were absolutely destroyed at the back line. And then luckily for Ixia, she was able to use the barrage and then flicker into the combo. So that was the reason why they couldn't really end.
Yeah, man, I'm kind of surprised that we're not really seeing a lot of immortality from both these two teams. I know there's a few members here and there that have them, but when you're 20 minutes, 21 minutes into a game, that immortality can mean the world in terms of ending and in terms of defending. But
Yep.
it still remains to be seen what will happen. But as we are in the late game, as we are in the late game, who do you think has the advantage based purely on the draft?
Like I said on the earlier game, I'm still on with Nova on this draft. With the Tyrus and the Roger and then the Glorious Path in the front line. It's kind of a no-brainer. They can easily take and give damage, bro. Even Halo's giving that damage from his passive is it's also a lot, bro.
Yeah, it is also a lot, but when you look at the side of Novacore, they did build towards that early game. You know, Raja, very big bully in the early game, as well as the Dayroth. In fact, all of their heroes, apart from maybe, I'm gonna retract it. All of their heroes are built towards the mid game and the early game. Whereas to the side of Nameless, they have um, they have Poco on this Xborg as well as the Ixia to make something happen. But we are seeing that they're trying
Yeah.
to fight for this Lord, but the you know Novacore are just zoning them out really really well at the moment.
Yep, with another evolved lord coming in, or which lord is it?
Luminous, I think they call it.
No,
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
another
It's the
luminous.
evolved lord.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
the
the
evolved.
evolved lord coming in. So
It's
gonna
Luminous
be
is
a
the
tough
same
one
one.
to defend. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, they have Ixia. If she can position well and Tigreal can sort of just control that front line, and then they can defend this load coming in.
Yep, man. It's still ways to be seen. It seems as though their waves are not completely synced in, but they can still make something happen here. But I don't tank really brought down really, really low. But we are seeing that last insanity being pulled out from Poco. In the meantime, that full barrage is doing a lot of damage, but the base is just being
GG.
focused, and it is GG. I'm not even sure who was focusing it. I think it was the Roger, but Novacore come in clutch and take the victory home. I'm surprised the kills are exact same, but yeah, that was a good game. Wonderfully played from both these two teams. But do you have anything to add, man?
Yeah, well, like I said, good game from both teams. They played well. But at the end of the day, most of the time, 80% of the time, I would say, the better draft always wins. And in this case, I was with the draft of Novacore, having the Tyrus, to go front line, and then melt that front line also down. They had the Roger to come and swoop in the back line along with Jeff, just using that ult to slide through with a bunch of knock-up CCs. That is just it's a lot to handle, but then as well as side of Nameless. Sorry. Side of Nameless, they had X here. They had the Tick for that combo, and then they had X-Book, and then Lilia for that wave clearing. It's just the wrestler was not doing so well. He was struggling a bit against Direct, but that's a given. Any hero struggles against Direct. But yeah, they could have done better. I think they had a good draft overall, both of the teams, and they did well. GG to both of the teams.
Yeah, man, GG to both of these teams. But that is it from me and Nightshade. Um, I think this is the end of the. I think this is the end of the day because I think this was the last game. I might be corrected, but I think this is the last game. So this is us signing out, giving it over to the panelists to let them take over.
All right, thank you, Nigel, and what's your name again? Ari.
Nigel.
Yeah, thanks, Ari, and Nightshade. That is the end of the game. That is the end of the game. Yeah, it was quite a close one. I feel like both teams definitely had a good shot of taking that. The Ixia, as we've always seen, has that great high ground defense, but this time it did not manage to pull through. But yeah, very well played to Novacore. They take the game finally after about 23 minutes, almost 24 minutes. So that's probably the longest game for tonight. But yeah, the better team won here. Roger, pretty damn strong here, if I must say. But yeah, that's going to be the end of it. Shantae, anything you'd like to add before we sign out here?
5 lords. That's all I have to say. 5 lords.
Five lords indeed. That was that. You're right, man. That was a hell of a lot of lords just running it down in that mid lane or the other lanes. We saw that game. But yeah, that's going to be Novacore taking that +3 to win over here in the Group B. I'll have to confirm with Nigel, but I think that's Group B finished, right? Or Shantae, do you know that? Anything about that?
No, tomorrow we have another round of matches.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll finish off Group B. Make sure you stay tuned for that, guys. Yeah, and that'll be it for tonight. Good night, and see you tomorrow.